Have you ever felt like the world is moving too fast? Like everyone is rushing to speak, to prove themselves, to grab attention, and somewhere in all the noise, your voice seems to vanish? It's exhausting, isn't it? This endless race to be heard, to respond, to defend, or to explain yourself. But what if you didn't have to race at all? What if the most powerful response was no response at all? There's a kind of strength that doesn't shout or demand. It simply exists. It's calm, steady, and undeniable. People notice it, not because it begs for attention, but because it radiates a quiet confidence that draws them in. They don't just hear you, they seek you out, compelled by something they can't quite name but can't ignore. That's the power of restraint, of stepping back, of choosing silence when the world expects noise. In today's world, silence is misunderstood. Many confuse it with weakness or indifference, but those who understand its value know it's a tool, a shield, and sometimes even a sword. The strongest individuals are not the ones who dominate conversations or react impulsively. They are the ones who know when to speak, and more importantly, when not to. The ability to hold back, to refrain from reacting, defending, or over-explaining is not an act of surrender. It's a sign of mastery, of control over one's emotions and impulses. It shows that you trust yourself enough not to rush into every battle, that you value your peace more than winning an argument, and that you understand the art of timing. Think about the moments when silence has changed everything. A pause before responding to someone's harsh words. The stillness that follows a heated debate, where the absence of noise says more than 1,000 words could. The quiet presence of a person who doesn't need to fill the air with chatter to make their mark. There's a reason why the wisest people in history, from ancient philosophers to modern leaders, have spoken about the power of stillness and reflection. It's in those moments of quiet that clarity emerges, that strength builds, and that the noise of the world fades away, leaving only what truly matters. Now, think about this. How often do you find yourself reacting instantly to situations, to people, to emotions? How often do you feel the need to explain yourself, to justify your choices, or to fill awkward silences with words that may not even be necessary? And what does it leave you with? More often than not, reacting impulsively or speaking without thought leads to regret, misunderstandings, or a loss of energy that could have been saved. It doesn't have to be this way. There's a path that leads to more peace, more clarity, and more control. A path where you don't have to fight every battle, chase every argument, or prove yourself to anyone. It's a path rooted in wisdom and strength, and it begins with the simplest, yet most challenging act: stepping back. When you step back, you're not retreating, you're resetting. You're giving yourself the gift of perspective, the chance to see the bigger picture before deciding your next move. You're reclaiming your time, your energy, and your focus from the distractions and drama that try to pull you in every direction. This isn't about giving up or avoiding responsibility. It's about choosing where to invest your attention and knowing that not everything deserves a response. It's about recognizing that your silence can be more powerful than any words you might say. Stepping back also creates space to think, to breathe, to grow. It's in that space that you discover what truly matters to you and what doesn't. It's where you realize that you don't need to explain your choices to people who don't understand them, or defend your boundaries to those who never respected them in the first place. There's freedom in not needing to have the last word. There's strength in letting go of the urge to react. And there's immense power in standing still while the world rushes around you. When you choose silence, something extraordinary happens. People start paying attention in ways they never did before. They notice the weight of your presence, the calmness of your demeanor, the clarity of your decisions. They sense that you're not like everyone else. that you're in control, not just of your words, but of yourself. It's not just about the way others see you, though. The greatest transformation happens within. The moment you stop reacting to every situation, you take back control of your emotions. You're no longer at the mercy of what others say or do. Instead, you become anchored, grounded in your own sense of self. This is where true freedom lies, not in being louder, faster, or more reactive, but in being deliberate, thoughtful, and composed. It's the kind of freedom that allows you to focus on what truly matters, to act with intention, and to protect your peace at all costs. It's not an easy path. Choosing silence requires discipline, patience, and a deep understanding of your own worth. It means resisting the urge to jump into every conversation or defend yourself against every criticism. It means learning to sit with discomfort, to embrace the stillness, and to trust that your value doesn't depend on how much noise you make. But it's worth it, because when you master the art of stepping back and remaining silent, you unlock a level of strength and clarity that few people ever achieve. You become the person others look to for guidance, the one who stands firm in the face of chaos, the one who doesn't need to shout to be heard. This isn't just a skill, it's a way of life. A life where you're no longer chasing approval, validation, or attention. A life where your silence speaks volumes, where your presence commands respect, and where your actions carry more weight than any words ever could. So, take a breath. Let the noise fade. Step back from the chaos and watch how the world begins to change, not because you demanded it, but because your silence demanded attention. In the quiet, you'll find your strength. In the stillness, you'll find your power. And in stepping back, you'll find yourself. Are you ready to start? Silence holds a power few truly understand. It isn't just the absence of words. It's a presence so commanding that it shapes the energy in the room. When silence is intentional, it speaks volumes. It can unsettle an aggressor, comfort a friend, or command the respect of an entire crowd. The ability to remain silent, especially in moments when words feel like the obvious solution, isn't just a skill, it's a masterstroke of self-control, wisdom, and emotional intelligence. When faced with confrontation or conflict, most people rush to fill the void, blurting out defenses, explanations, or even counterattacks. Yet, there's something profoundly disarming about a calm, unyielding silence. It's a response that requires no energy, no words, yet it shifts the dynamics entirely. The silence of a person who knows their worth, who refuses to be provoked or dragged into unnecessary drama, is a force to be reckoned with. It demands respect because it suggests self-mastery and an unshakable sense of inner peace. In a heated argument, the one who remains silent often holds the most power. Words can be countered, twisted, or dismissed, but silence is undeniable. It forces others to confront their own emotions without the distraction of your responses. A silent presence creates a mirror, reflecting the other person's behavior back to them. This reflection can be uncomfortable, even unnerving, for those who thrive on chaos or dominance. Suddenly, their power diminishes because they no longer have control over your reaction. You've taken back the reins, not by fighting, but by refusing to engage. Silence also leaves room for people to reveal themselves. When someone expects a reaction and doesn't get one, they often continue speaking to fill the void. This can lead to them exposing more than they intended, whether it's the depth of their emotions, hidden motives, or even contradictions in their argument. In the absence of your voice, their true intentions come to light. It's as if silence creates a space where honesty, often unintentional, emerges. This isn't about using silence as a weapon to manipulate or belittle others. On the contrary, it's about cultivating a calm and respectful presence that allows situations to unfold naturally. When you stay silent, you're not dismissing the other person. You're simply showing that you value clarity over chaos. It's a way of saying, "I hear you, but I will not be pulled into this storm." That kind of restraint is rare, and it commands a level of respect that loudness never will. Silence also has a way of diffusing tension. In moments of conflict, people often expect resistance. When they're met with silence instead, the energy shifts. It's as if the fire they're trying to ignite has no fuel to burn. This doesn't mean that silence solves every conflict, but it does create an opening for resolution. Without the back and forth of heated words, emotions have a chance to settle, and logic can step in. Silence creates space. Space for thought, for perspective, and for the possibility of peace. In professional settings, silence can be particularly powerful. In meetings or negotiations, for instance, the ability to hold your tongue can be a game changer. When others are speaking, listening silently shows that you're engaged and thoughtful. It also gives you the advantage of gathering information, understanding the dynamics at play, and preparing a well-considered response when the time is right. On the other hand, speaking too quickly or too often can dilute your message and make you seem less confident. Silence, when used strategically, positions you as someone who is deliberate and in control. Respect often stems from how you handle yourself in moments of challenge or conflict. When you remain silent, you show that you're not easily rattled or provoked. This composure sends a powerful message. You're not controlled by external circumstances. You've mastered the ability to stay grounded, even when emotions are running high. People respect that kind of strength because it's so rare in a world where impulsive reactions are the norm. Beyond commanding respect, silence also builds trust. When you're not constantly speaking, people perceive you as more thoughtful and intentional. They trust that when you do speak, your words will carry weight. Silence, in this way, becomes a currency of credibility. It shows that you're not trying to dominate the conversation or prove yourself at every turn. Instead, you're focused on the bigger picture, on what truly matters. In personal relationships, silence can be a tool for connection. When someone shares their feelings or experiences with you, your silence signals that you're truly listening. You're not interrupting, judging, or trying to fix things. You're simply present. That kind of presence is deeply comforting and rare. It fosters a sense of safety and understanding, which are the foundations of any strong relationship. Silence also allows you to conserve your energy. Words, especially in moments of conflict, can drain you. They require thought, emotion, and often leave you feeling depleted. Silence, on the other hand, protects your inner peace. It shields you from the chaos of unnecessary arguments and the emotional toll of trying to make others understand your point of view. By choosing silence, you're prioritizing your well-being over the need to be right or to win. Choosing silence doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or avoiding difficult conversations. It's about knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet. It's about understanding that not every situation requires your input, and that sometimes silence can say everything that needs to be said. It's a balance, a dance between restraint and expression, between holding back and stepping forward. To embrace the power of silence, you must first be comfortable with yourself. Silence can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront your thoughts, your emotions, and your fears. But in that discomfort lies growth. The more you practice silence, the more you'll discover its benefits, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. Silence is a practice, one that requires patience and mindfulness. It's not about shutting down or withdrawing. It's about being intentional with your energy and your words. It's about understanding that true power doesn't come from how loud or persuasive you are, but from how steady and grounded you can remain in the face of anything. The next time you find yourself in a situation where words seem like the obvious answer, pause. Consider what silence might achieve. Let the moment breathe. Allow others to reveal themselves, to fill the space, to show you who they truly are. And when the time comes to speak, do so with purpose and clarity. Let your words be as deliberate and impactful as your silence has been. In the end, silence is not just the absence of noise. It's a presence, a force, a statement. It's a way of saying, without saying anything at all, that you know your worth, that you value your peace, and that you're in control. And in a world that's constantly shouting, that kind of quiet confidence is truly unforgettable. Silence grants clarity, but what happens when the storms of life roar on, refusing to let you find that stillness? The ability to stay composed amidst chaos isn't simply about quietness. It's about mastering your inner world. Life doesn't pause to let us catch our breath, and it rarely adjusts its pace for our convenience. Yet, within every whirlwind of emotion lies an opportunity to remain unshaken, a chance to regulate the chaos within, no matter what rages outside. Mastering emotional detachment doesn't mean disconnecting from life or its joys. Instead, it is about refusing to let external events dictate your inner state. Emotions, when unchecked, can overwhelm even the strongest minds, pulling us into spirals of frustration, fear, or despair. But emotional detachment gives you a key, a way to unlock control over how much power you grant these feelings. When faced with chaos, it's easy to feel like a leaf in a hurricane, tossed around by forces larger than yourself. But here's a truth often overlooked. You have far more control than you think. You may not control the wind, but you control how deeply your roots anchor you. Emotional detachment begins with understanding what truly belongs to you, your reactions, your interpretations, and your focus. Everything else is external, existing beyond the borders of your influence. The ability to separate these two realms is at the heart of Stoic wisdom. Detachment doesn't dull your experiences, it sharpens them. By choosing what to engage with and what to release, you reclaim energy often wasted on futile worries. For example, when confronted by criticism, emotional detachment allows you to see the feedback without letting it pierce your sense of self-worth. You can evaluate whether the critique holds merit, adjust if necessary, and dismiss the rest without carrying resentment or anger. Chaos often thrives on immediacy. It demands quick reactions, heightened emotions, and split-second decisions. Emotional detachment counters this by giving you permission to pause. Instead of reacting instinctively, you can choose to respond thoughtfully. In the pause lies your power to assess a situation for what it is, not what your emotions project it to be. This clarity is a gift, and with practice, it becomes a shield against the turbulence of external events. One of the greatest challenges in detaching emotionally is confronting the stories your mind creates. Every interaction, conflict, or disappointment is accompanied by a narrative, the meaning you assign to what's happening. Mastering emotional detachment requires questioning these stories. Are they grounded in fact, or are they colored by insecurities or fears? By dissecting these narratives, you strip emotions of their ability to control you, seeing events for what they are rather than what they feel like. In relationships, detachment can be transformative. It allows you to love deeply without clinging, to support without overextending, and to understand without absorbing someone else's turmoil. When a loved one is upset, for instance, their emotions may try to pull you into their storm. Emotional detachment lets you remain steady, offering support without losing your own stability. It's a form of love that respects both boundaries and connection, a balance that creates healthier, more enduring bonds. Detachment also empowers you to let go of the need for control. The truth is, most of what happens around you is beyond your grasp. Clinging to control often leads to frustration and disappointment. Emotional detachment is not about apathy. It's about releasing the illusion of control while fully embracing what you can influence: your attitude, your choices, and your responses. This surrender is not defeat, it's liberation. By relinquishing control over the uncontrollable, you free yourself from the constant tension of trying to bend the world to your will. Practicing detachment doesn't mean numbing your feelings or suppressing them. It's about engaging with emotions in a way that serves you, not enslaves you. Emotions are signals, not dictators. They can guide you toward what needs attention, but they don't have to define your actions. A Stoic approach to emotional detachment is rooted in observing your feelings without judgment. When anger rises, acknowledge it without letting it consume you. When sadness appears, accept it without allowing it to paralyze you. This mindfulness creates space between you and your emotions, allowing you to act with intention instead of impulse. Detachment also extends to how you perceive success and failure. In a world that celebrates constant achievement, it's easy to tie your self-worth to outcomes. Emotional detachment reminds you that your value doesn't depend on external validation. Success is fleeting, as is failure. Neither defines you. By focusing on the effort rather than the outcome, you gain freedom from the highs and lows that often accompany the pursuit of goals. This perspective shifts your motivation from fear of failure or desire for approval to a simple commitment to doing your best. One practical way to cultivate detachment is through grounding rituals. These are practices that anchor you in the present moment, pulling you out of emotional spirals. Simple acts like deep breathing, journaling, or even taking a quiet walk can create a buffer between you and overwhelming feelings. These moments of pause are not escapes, but tools for regaining perspective. They allow you to return to life's challenges with a clearer mind and a calmer heart. Another key to detachment is accepting impermanence. Everything in life is transient: success, failure, joy, pain. This impermanence is not a threat. It's a reminder to hold lightly to what you encounter. When you accept that all things pass, you stop clinging to what's pleasant or resisting what's difficult. Instead, you flow with life's rhythm, finding peace in the knowledge that no storm lasts forever. In practice, detachment often looks like choosing your battles. Not every provocation deserves your attention, and not every conflict needs resolution. Emotional detachment gives you the discernment to know when to engage and when to step back. This doesn't mean avoiding confrontation when necessary, but it ensures that your energy is spent on meaningful endeavors rather than petty disputes. Detachment also redefines how you perceive others' opinions. The weight of someone else's judgment often feels heavier than it truly is. Emotional detachment reminds you that opinions are reflections of the other person's perspective, not absolute truths. Whether praised or criticized, you retain the power to decide how much significance you assign to their words. This doesn't make you indifferent. It makes you grounded in your own self-awareness. At its core, emotional detachment is about creating space to breathe, to think, and to be. It's about breaking free from the reactive patterns that keep you tied to every wave of emotion. This space isn't empty. It's filled with clarity, strength, and the freedom to choose how you respond to life's challenges. It's where you reclaim your power, not by fighting against what you feel, but by choosing how you engage with it. By embracing emotional detachment, you don't lose your humanity. Instead, you gain a deeper connection to yourself and the world around you. You see situations more clearly, engage with others more authentically, and navigate life's ups and downs with grace. It's a practice of strength, resilience, and ultimately, peace. a way of moving through life that allows you to remain unshaken, no matter how turbulent the storm. Mastering emotional detachment builds a fortress of calm within you. But what happens when life throws unexpected challenges your way? The key to preserving this inner sanctuary lies not just in detachment, but in your ability to remain non-reactive. Non-reaction isn't passive, it's deliberate. It's the moment when silence becomes your strongest voice, your clearest response, and your most powerful statement. To refrain from impulsive reactions is to rise above the chaos, standing firm in a world driven by immediate responses. In a heated situation, reaction often feels like the only option. A stinging comment invites a defensive reply, an unfair accusation demands an explanation, and the smallest slight can provoke a storm of emotion. But reacting impulsively rarely brings resolution. Instead, it feeds the fire, turning fleeting moments into long-lasting tensions. Non-reaction, on the other hand, diffuses this energy. It halts the cycle of escalation, leaving no fuel for conflict to burn. The ability to remain silent in the face of provocation is a sign of immense strength. It shows that you are not controlled by the whims of others or the pull of your emotions. Silence in these moments isn't about avoidance, it's about choice. You are choosing not to let the situation dictate your behavior. This choice reflects a level of composure that commands respect, even from those who may not understand it. It says, without words, I am in control of myself, and nothing you say or do can take that away. Non-reaction creates space, and in that space, transformation occurs. When you pause, you allow the initial surge of emotion to settle, making room for clarity. The first wave of reaction is often driven by instinct, fight, flight, or freeze. But beneath that lies the ability to think, to assess, and to respond intentionally if needed. This gap between stimulus and response is where wisdom lives. By stepping into that gap, you take the time to understand the situation fully before deciding whether any response is necessary. This practice also shifts the dynamic in interactions. When someone expects a reaction and doesn't get one, it can disarm them. Their energy, directed at provoking you, is left without an outlet. This often leads them to reflect on their own behavior. They may question their motives, reconsider their words, or simply lose interest in the conflict altogether. Your silence acts as a mirror, reflecting their actions back to them. It forces them to confront themselves without the distraction of your response. Non-reaction is not the absence of feeling, it's the mastery of it. You can still feel hurt, anger, or frustration, but you don't let these emotions dictate your actions. Instead, you acknowledge them, process them, and decide how to move forward. This control over your internal world is liberating. It frees you from the need to justify, argue, or retaliate. It allows you to maintain your dignity and focus on what truly matters. In relationships, non-reaction fosters deeper understanding. When disagreements arise, reacting impulsively often leads to misunderstandings or escalates the issue. Choosing silence in such moments can create an opportunity for both parties to reflect. It shows that you value the relationship more than the argument, that you are willing to listen and to prioritize peace over pride. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, it means expressing them thoughtfully, at the right time, and in the right way. Non-reaction also serves as a form of self-respect. It shows that you value your time and energy too much to waste them on trivial conflicts or toxic interactions. By not engaging in every provocation, you conserve your resources for what truly deserves your attention. This restraint protects your peace and reinforces your sense of self-worth. It reminds you that you don't owe anyone an immediate reaction, especially when it doesn't serve your well-being. This approach is equally valuable in professional settings. In the workplace, tensions and disagreements are inevitable. Reacting emotionally in such environments can damage your credibility and relationships. Non-reaction, on the other hand, demonstrates professionalism and maturity. It shows that you can remain composed under pressure, a quality that earns trust and respect from colleagues and superiors alike. It also allows you to navigate conflicts more effectively, as you are able to think strategically rather than react impulsively. Non-reaction doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what is necessary without being controlled by the situation. Sometimes, the most effective response is a delayed one. Waiting allows you to gather your thoughts, assess the situation, and respond with intention. This delay often leads to better outcomes, as your response is rooted in clarity rather than emotion. It also gives others time to reflect, which can diffuse tension and pave the way for resolution. Practicing non-reaction requires mindfulness. It involves being aware of your triggers and recognizing the moments when you're most likely to react impulsively. This awareness allows you to pause, breathe, and choose your response. It's a skill that takes time to develop, but with practice, it becomes second nature. The more you exercise this restraint, the easier it becomes to stay grounded, even in the face of provocation. Non-reaction also deepens your self-awareness. When you pause instead of reacting, you gain insight into your own patterns of thought and behavior. You begin to understand what drives your reactions, what fears or insecurities they stem from. This self-knowledge is invaluable, as it allows you to address the root causes of your emotional responses. Over time, this awareness leads to growth and transformation, helping you become a more centered and resilient individual. The art of non-reaction is not about suppressing your voice or avoiding confrontation. It's about choosing when and how to use your voice most effectively. It's about recognizing that not every situation requires your participation, and that sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is silence. It's about reclaiming your power from the noise of the world and directing it toward what truly matters. In a culture that values quick responses and immediate gratification, non-reaction is a radical act. It's a way of saying, I will not be rushed, I will not be provoked, and I will not be controlled. It's a practice of strength, wisdom, and self-respect, a way of navigating life's challenges with grace and composure. By mastering the art of non-reaction, you not only protect your peace, but also set a powerful example for others, showing them that true strength lies not in how loudly you speak, but in how wisely you choose to act. Non-reaction brings clarity and a profound sense of control, but there's something even deeper that emanates from such self-mastery: quiet confidence. This is not the loud, boastful confidence that seeks validation from others. It is a calm, assured presence that draws people in without effort. Quiet confidence doesn't demand attention. It naturally commands it. It is subtle, magnetic, and undeniable, creating a gravitational pull that makes others want to be near you, seek your advice, and trust your judgment. Quiet confidence is not born from trying to appear strong. It comes from actually being strong, rooted in self-awareness and self-assurance. When you remain calm and composed, people sense your steadiness. They see that you are not easily swayed by external pressures, that you are capable of handling life's challenges with grace and resilience. This unspoken strength is what makes quiet confidence so powerful. It doesn't need to shout its presence. It is simply felt. In a world that thrives on noise and constant action, stillness stands out. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, you become a source of stability in the chaos. People are naturally drawn to those who seem unshaken, who exude a sense of calm that soothes others' anxieties. This kind of confidence is not about perfection or having all the answers. It's about being comfortable with yourself, your imperfections, and your journey. Quiet confidence begins with self-trust. When you trust your abilities, your values, and your decisions, you no longer feel the need to seek approval from others. This internal grounding makes you less reactive and more intentional in your actions. Instead of trying to prove yourself, you let your actions and presence speak for you. People are drawn to this authenticity because it's rare. Many spend their lives trying to be someone they're not, while quiet confidence stems from embracing exactly who you are. The magnetism of quiet confidence also lies in its mystery. When you are not constantly broadcasting your thoughts or seeking validation, you create an air of intrigue. People become curious about you, wanting to know what drives your calm demeanor. This curiosity leads them to approach you, ask for your perspective, and respect your presence. They sense that there's depth beneath the surface, and that makes them value your opinions and insights even more. Staying calm and composed in challenging situations amplifies your quiet confidence. When others are panicking or overreacting, your ability to remain steady sets you apart. It shows that you are in control of yourself, even when the circumstances are beyond your control. This composure inspires trust and admiration. People look to you as a source of guidance, drawn to your ability to maintain perspective and clarity under pressure. Quiet confidence also fosters better communication. When you are secure in yourself, you listen more than you speak. This attentiveness shows respect for others and creates space for meaningful conversations. People feel heard and valued in your presence, which deepens their connection to you. Your calm energy becomes a safe haven, a place where they can express themselves without fear of judgment. Another key aspect of quiet confidence is humility. It's not about thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. When you don't feel the need to constantly assert your worth, you make room for others to shine. This generosity of spirit makes people feel appreciated and respected, which only strengthens their admiration for you. Quiet confidence allows you to uplift others without diminishing your own light. This form of confidence is also closely tied to emotional intelligence. When you understand and manage your own emotions, you create a balanced and composed presence that others find reassuring. Your ability to navigate conflicts calmly, to approach challenges thoughtfully, and to maintain your integrity in difficult situations shows a level of maturity that people gravitate toward. They see you as someone who can be trusted, someone who brings stability to their lives. Quiet confidence has a unique way of influencing others. Instead of trying to convince people with words, you lead by example. Your actions align with your values, and your consistency builds credibility. People are drawn to this authenticity because it resonates on a deeper level than mere words ever could. They see your confidence not as arrogance, but as a genuine reflection of your self-assurance. The magnetism of quiet confidence also lies in its ability to inspire others. When people see you navigating life with calmness and clarity, they begin to believe that they can do the same. Your presence becomes a reminder that strength doesn't have to be loud, and that resilience doesn't require constant struggle. This silent inspiration creates a ripple effect, encouraging those around you to find their own sense of calm and confidence. Your quiet confidence also sets boundaries without confrontation. When you carry yourself with self-assurance, people sense what you will and won't tolerate. Your calm demeanor makes it clear that you respect yourself, and this naturally commands respect from others. There's no need for defensiveness or aggression. Your presence alone communicates your boundaries effectively. The beauty of quiet confidence is that it isn't dependent on external circumstances. It comes from within, from knowing your worth and staying true to your principles. This internal foundation makes you resilient to the ups and downs of life. People are drawn to this resilience because it gives them a sense of stability and hope. They see that, no matter what happens, you remain grounded and unshaken. Quiet confidence also enhances your decision-making. When you are calm and composed, you can think more clearly and make choices that align with your values and goals. This decisiveness further strengthens your confidence, creating a positive cycle that others admire. They trust your judgment because they see the thoughtfulness and intention behind your actions. In leadership, quiet confidence is especially impactful. A leader who leads with calm authority inspires loyalty and respect. They don't need to micromanage or assert dominance because their confidence is evident in their actions and decisions. This kind of leadership creates a positive environment where people feel empowered and supported. Quiet confidence isn't something you can fake. It comes from doing the inner work, reflecting on your values, embracing your strengths and weaknesses, and cultivating a sense of self-awareness. It's a journey of growth and self-acceptance, one that requires patience and commitment. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you embody quiet confidence, you not only transform your own life, but also positively influence everyone around you. This confidence also protects you from the negativity of others. When you are secure in yourself, you are less affected by criticism or judgment. You understand that other people's opinions are a reflection of their perspective, not a measure of your worth. This resilience allows you to stay focused on your path without being derailed by external noise. Quiet confidence is a gift to both yourself and the world. It brings peace, strength, and authenticity to every interaction. It allows you to navigate life with grace and to inspire others to do the same. In a world that often values noise over substance, quiet confidence stands out as a beacon of true strength. It is a reminder that the most powerful presence is often the one that doesn't need to prove itself at all. Quiet confidence naturally commands attention, but its true strength lies in how it influences the way you engage with others. Communication is not just about speaking with clarity, it's about listening with intention. Most people listen with one goal, to reply. They're formulating their response before the other person has even finished speaking. But real connection comes when you listen to understand, not to reply. This shift changes the entire dynamic of any conversation, creating an atmosphere of trust, respect, and understanding. Listening to understand requires patience and humility. It means setting aside your ego and the need to be right. In a world where people often speak to be heard, choosing to listen stands out as a rare and powerful act. It demonstrates that you value what the other person has to say, that you're not just waiting for your turn to speak, but that you are genuinely invested in the conversation. When you listen deeply, you're not just hearing words, you're uncovering emotions, intentions, and unspoken messages. People communicate more than they realize, and much of what they share is hidden beneath the surface. By focusing entirely on their words, tone, and body language, you begin to see the full picture of what they're expressing. This kind of attention makes others feel valued and respected, which strengthens the connection between you. Listening to understand also reduces misunderstandings. When people feel unheard or dismissed, they often shut down or become defensive. By taking the time to fully understand their perspective, you create an environment where they feel safe to express themselves. This openness fosters mutual respect and helps resolve conflicts more effectively. Instead of jumping to conclusions or making assumptions, you can respond thoughtfully and accurately, addressing their concerns without escalating tensions. This approach requires you to quiet your inner dialogue. Often, while someone else is speaking, your mind is racing, thinking about how to respond, how to counter their point, or even drifting to unrelated thoughts. True listening involves silencing this mental chatter and focusing entirely on the other person. It's not just about hearing their words. It's about being fully present in the moment. When you listen without the intention to reply, you give the other person space to fully express themselves. This space is transformative. It allows them to process their thoughts and emotions, often leading to insights they may not have reached on their own. Your role as a listener becomes one of support and reflection, helping them navigate their feelings without imposing your own opinions. This kind of listening is particularly powerful in resolving conflicts. In heated situations, emotions often cloud communication. People become more concerned with defending themselves than understanding the other person's perspective. By choosing to listen without reacting, you create a pause in the conflict. This pause allows emotions to settle and opens the door to genuine understanding. When both parties feel heard, solutions become easier to find, and the conflict loses its intensity. Listening to understand also deepens relationships. Whether it's with friends, family, or colleagues, people are drawn to those who make them feel seen and understood. Your willingness to truly listen demonstrates empathy and care, qualities that build trust and strengthen bonds. Over time, this practice transforms your relationships, making them more meaningful and resilient. This approach is rooted in Stoic principles. The Stoics believed that understanding others was essential for maintaining harmony and balance in life. By listening without judgment or bias, they sought to connect with people on a deeper level. This practice allowed them to navigate complex situations with wisdom and composure, focusing on finding solutions rather than winning arguments. Listening to understand also enhances your own growth. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to learn, not just about the other person, but also about yourself. You begin to notice patterns in how you communicate, areas where you might interrupt or impose your opinions. This self-awareness helps you refine your listening skills, making you a more effective communicator over time. This practice is not about agreeing with everything you hear. It's about understanding where the other person is coming from, even if you disagree. By separating understanding from agreement, you create room for constructive dialogue. You can acknowledge their perspective without compromising your own, fostering mutual respect even in disagreements. In professional settings, listening to understand sets you apart as a leader and a collaborator. When you take the time to fully grasp what others are saying, you make better decisions and build stronger teams. People feel valued when they know their voices are heard, and this sense of inclusion boosts morale and productivity. Your ability to listen becomes a tool for solving problems, building consensus, and inspiring those around you. Listening deeply also requires you to let go of the need to control the conversation. Many people feel uncomfortable with silence or uncertainty in discussions, so they fill the gaps with their own words. But silence can be a powerful tool in communication. It gives the other person time to think and encourages them to share more. By embracing silence, you show that you are patient and open, qualities that build trust and understanding. This approach also teaches you to listen beyond words. Sometimes what people don't say is as important as what they do. Their tone, pace, and body language can reveal emotions and concerns that words alone cannot. By paying attention to these subtle cues, you gain a deeper understanding of their state of mind and can respond more effectively. Listening to understand is also a form of emotional intelligence. It requires you to manage your own emotions while staying attuned to those of the other person. This balance helps you navigate difficult conversations with grace and composure. You learn to respond with empathy and logic, rather than being driven by your own emotional reactions. This practice is not always easy. It requires patience, self-discipline, and a genuine desire to connect. But the rewards are profound. You build stronger, more meaningful relationships, gain valuable insights, and create a sense of peace and understanding in your interactions. Over time, listening to understand becomes not just a skill, but a way of being, one that enriches every aspect of your life. The act of listening is often underestimated, but its impact cannot be overstated. It transforms the way you connect with others, the way you resolve conflicts, and the way you grow as an individual. By choosing to listen with the intention of understanding, you create a space for authentic communication and meaningful connection. This practice is not about being passive, it's about being present. It's about valuing the voices of others as much as your own, and recognizing the power of silence in building bridges and breaking barriers. Listening with intention transforms connections, but in a world full of distractions and chaos, even the most attentive mind can feel overwhelmed. To truly thrive in this noisy world, you must create a fortress of calm, a sanctuary within yourself that remains unshaken by external turbulence. This calmness isn't about shutting out the world or avoiding responsibility. It's about finding clarity and strength in the midst of it all. When you cultivate inner serenity, you radiate a steadiness that not only grounds you, but also draws others to seek your presence for the peace it provides. Building a fortress of calm starts with mastering your environment. The external world is full of noise, literal and figurative, that competes for your attention. Notifications, endless conversations, and societal pressures create a whirlwind of distractions. Learning to manage these stimuli begins by prioritizing what deserves your focus. Not everything demands your immediate attention, and recognizing this is a powerful step toward calmness. Setting boundaries for how and when you engage with the external world helps you protect your mental space. Your physical environment also plays a significant role in fostering calm. A cluttered space often mirrors a cluttered mind. By simplifying and organizing your surroundings, you create an atmosphere that promotes clarity and relaxation. This doesn't mean you need to live in minimalistic perfection. It's about creating a space that feels harmonious to you. Small acts like decluttering a desk, adding a calming scent, or incorporating natural elements can transform your surroundings into a supportive retreat. Beyond the physical, the mental environment you cultivate is even more critical. Your thoughts are like visitors. Some are welcome, others linger uninvited. Learning to recognize which thoughts serve you and which create unnecessary noise is key to maintaining calm. Mindfulness practices, such as focusing on your breath or engaging in deliberate observation, allow you to observe your thoughts without becoming entangled in them. This practice creates distance between you and your mind's chatter, helping you regain control over your inner dialogue. Technology, while a powerful tool, often contributes to the noise. Constant notifications and the pressure to stay connected can erode your sense of peace. To counter this, setting intentional limits on technology use is essential. Designate specific times to check emails or social media, and create tech-free zones in your day, such as the first hour after waking or the hour before bedtime. These moments of digital disconnection allow you to recharge and refocus, reinforcing your inner calm. Another cornerstone of a fortress of calm is mastering your response to external chaos. Life is unpredictable and disruptions will come. The key is not to resist them, but to adapt with grace. When challenges arise, take a moment to pause before reacting. This pause creates a space for thoughtful reflection and intentional action. It helps you respond to situations with clarity rather than being swept away by emotional reactivity. Breathing techniques are a simple yet profound tool for cultivating calmness. When stress or chaos threatens your peace, deep, intentional breaths can reset your nervous system. Inhaling deeply through your nose, holding the breath for a few seconds, and exhaling slowly activates your body's relaxation response. Practicing this regularly, even when you're not stressed, strengthens your ability to remain composed in difficult moments. Time in nature is another way to fortify your inner calm. The natural world has a grounding effect that helps reset your mind and body. Walking among trees, feeling the breeze, or listening to the sound of running water reconnects you to the simplicity and rhythm of life. This connection reminds you of the broader perspective, helping you release minor worries and find peace in the present. Engaging in regular physical activity also plays a vital role in maintaining calmness. Movement helps release built-up tension and improves your overall sense of well-being. Activities like yoga, tai chi, or even a gentle walk combine physical movement with mindfulness, offering dual benefits for both your body and mind. These practices not only reduce stress, but also help you stay centered, even when external circumstances are challenging. The people you surround yourself with significantly impact your sense of calm. Negative or overly dramatic individuals can disrupt your peace, while supportive and understanding relationships can strengthen it. Building a fortress of calm includes carefully curating your social environment, setting boundaries where needed, and fostering connections that uplift and encourage you. Inner calm also requires a sense of purpose. When you have a clear direction or set of values guiding your actions, external chaos loses much of its power to unsettle you. Purpose provides a steady anchor, allowing you to navigate challenges with resilience. Reflecting on what truly matters to you helps you align your actions with your values, creating a sense of harmony that reinforces your inner serenity. Daily rituals are another effective way to cultivate calm. These small, intentional practices anchor your day, providing moments of stability amidst life's unpredictability. Whether it's a morning meditation, journaling, or an evening gratitude practice, these rituals serve as touch points that remind you to pause, breathe, and reconnect with yourself. Gratitude itself is a powerful ally in fostering calm. When you focus on what you're thankful for, your perspective shifts from what's lacking to what's abundant. This shift reduces stress and cultivates a sense of contentment. A simple habit of noting 3 things you're grateful for each day can significantly enhance your ability to maintain calm, even during turbulent times. Sleep is an often overlooked pillar of calmness. Without adequate rest, your mind becomes more susceptible to stress and reactivity. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene, such as maintaining a consistent bedtime, limiting screen time before bed, and creating a relaxing evening routine, supports your body and mind in staying balanced. Nutrition also plays a role in your mental state. Foods rich in nutrients, like leafy greens, nuts, and whole grains, nourish your body and promote a stable mood. Reducing caffeine and sugar, especially during stressful periods, can prevent energy crashes and the accompanying irritability, helping you maintain a sense of calm throughout the day. Music and sound can be used to cultivate serenity as well. Calming music or nature sounds help create a tranquil atmosphere, reducing stress and promoting focus. Incorporating these into your daily routine, whether during work, relaxation, or before sleep, helps reinforce your fortress of calm. Self-compassion is essential in building this inner sanctuary. Life is messy, and perfection is an illusion. Being kind to yourself when you falter is a key part of maintaining calm. Recognize that growth is a journey, and that setbacks are not failures, but opportunities to learn and strengthen your resilience. Creating a fortress of calm in a noisy world is not about eliminating chaos, but learning to navigate it with grace and confidence. It's about cultivating habits and mindsets that protect your peace and allow you to thrive, no matter what life throws your way. When you commit to this practice, you don't just transform your own life. You become a source of calm and inspiration for those around you, a steady presence in an unsteady world. Building a fortress of calm gives you the foundation to weather life's storms, but true mastery comes from going beyond calmness and stepping into observation. When you choose to watch instead of act, to listen instead of speak, and to reflect instead of react, you become the silent observer. This is not passivity. It's an active, deliberate state of awareness that empowers you to make decisions with precision and clarity. The world reveals itself in subtle ways when you pause long enough to notice. Being a silent observer starts with embracing stillness. In the rush of daily life, stillness can feel unnatural, even uncomfortable. Yet it's in this quiet space that clarity emerges. Observing without immediate action allows you to see patterns, behaviors, and opportunities that impulsiveness often obscures. When you observe a situation from a place of stillness, you gain insight into what is truly happening, not just what it feels like in the heat of the moment. This clarity prevents missteps and enhances the impact of your eventual decisions. Stillness teaches patience. In a world driven by instant reactions, the act of waiting and watching is both rare and powerful. The silent observer resists the urge to act prematurely, understanding that time often reveals the answers we seek. By allowing events to unfold naturally, you often find that problems solve themselves, conflicts dissipate, or additional information emerges that changes your perspective. This patience is not idle, it is intentional. It's the art of giving space to see things as they are, rather than as they appear in a moment of urgency. Being a silent observer also means being present. To fully understand a situation, you must be engaged with it, not through action, but through attention. This level of presence requires letting go of distractions and focusing entirely on the moment at hand. When you give your full attention, you notice details others overlook. A subtle change in tone, a fleeting expression, or a pattern in someone's behavior can reveal far more than their words. These observations give you an edge, allowing you to understand situations on a deeper level. One of the greatest benefits of silent observation is the ability to see beyond surface appearances. People and situations are rarely as straightforward as they seem. By withholding judgment and simply observing, you allow the truth to unfold naturally. This approach prevents you from jumping to conclusions based on incomplete information or assumptions. It's a skill that requires practice, but offers immense rewards, as it enables you to respond to reality rather than your perception of it. Observation also reveals the intentions of others. When you remain silent, people often reveal more than they realize. They fill the space you leave open, offering clues about their motivations, fears, and desires. This doesn't mean you exploit what you learn, but rather that you use it to navigate interactions with greater understanding. Knowing what drives someone allows you to engage with them more effectively, building stronger connections or addressing conflicts with precision. The silent observer is not detached or indifferent. They are deeply engaged, but in a way that prioritizes understanding over control. This mindset fosters humility, as you recognize that there is always more to learn, always another perspective to consider. By stepping back and observing, you create space for curiosity to thrive. This openness not only deepens your awareness, but also encourages those around you to share more openly, knowing they are truly being heard. In decision-making, observation is your greatest ally. The more you understand a situation, the better equipped you are to act wisely. By watching and analyzing before making a move, you avoid impulsive mistakes and ensure that your actions align with your goals and values. This deliberate approach doesn't just lead to better outcomes, it also strengthens your confidence, as you know your decisions are based on a full understanding of the situation. Observation also enhances your ability to learn from experience. When you take the time to reflect on what you've seen and heard, you gain insights that can inform your future actions. This reflection transforms even mistakes into valuable lessons, as it allows you to understand what went wrong and how to avoid similar pitfalls. Over time, this habit of reflection builds a reservoir of wisdom that guides you through increasingly complex challenges. The power of silent observation extends to your interactions with others. When you listen more than you speak and watch more than you act, you create a sense of trust and respect. People are drawn to those who make them feel seen and understood, and your ability to observe attentively fosters these feelings. This trust opens doors to deeper connections and more meaningful relationships, as others feel safe sharing their thoughts and emotions with you. Observation also strengthens your emotional intelligence. By paying close attention to the emotions of others, as well as your own, you develop a deeper understanding of how feelings influence behavior. This awareness helps you navigate conflicts, support those in need, and communicate more effectively. It also allows you to manage your own emotions more skillfully as you recognize the triggers and patterns that shape your reactions. The silent observer recognizes the power of timing. Not every situation requires immediate action, and not every moment is the right one to speak or act. By observing carefully, you learn to identify the optimal moment to intervene or contribute. This sense of timing makes your actions more impactful, as they are delivered when they are most needed and most likely to succeed. Observation is also a form of protection. By staying alert and aware, you can identify potential risks or threats before they escalate. This vigilance doesn't mean living in fear, but rather being prepared and informed. It allows you to navigate challenges with confidence, knowing you've taken the time to fully understand the situation. Practicing silent observation requires discipline. The urge to jump in, to fix or to react can be strong, especially in high-stakes situations. But by resisting these impulses, you cultivate a deeper sense of control. This control is not about dominating others, but about mastering yourself, your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Observation also deepens your connection to the present moment. When you are fully engaged in watching and listening, you experience life more vividly. You notice the beauty in small details, the richness in conversations, and the lessons in everyday experiences. This presence brings a sense of peace and fulfillment, as you are no longer rushing through life, but fully inhabiting it. As a silent observer, you also become more adaptable. The more you understand a situation, the better equipped you are to adjust your approach as needed. This flexibility allows you to navigate change with ease, as you are not tied to a single perspective or plan. Instead, you remain open to new information and ready to pivot when necessary. Observation is not about passivity, but about intentionality. It's a way of engaging with the world that prioritizes understanding over action, presence over control, and wisdom over impulsiveness. By cultivating this mindset, you empower yourself to make decisions that are informed, impactful, and aligned with your values. Through silent observation, you unlock a deeper awareness of the world and your place in it. You learn to see beyond the surface, to listen beyond the words, and to act with clarity and purpose. This practice is not just a skill, but a way of life, one that enriches your relationships, strengthens your resilience, and transforms the way you navigate challenges. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply pause, watch, and let the world reveal itself to you. Observing the world with stillness sharpens your understanding, but what happens when the focus turns inward? Criticism, whether fair or unwarranted, is often an emotional trigger. It can feel like an attack, a dismissal, or even a personal failure. But what if criticism could become your greatest teacher? Through the strength of quiet reflection, harsh words and pointed critiques can be transformed into stepping stones for growth. This is not about ignoring or suppressing the sting of criticism. It's about pausing to extract the wisdom hidden within, creating clarity from discomfort. When faced with criticism, the natural response is often defensiveness or rejection. It's easy to let pride or fear take over, dismissing the feedback outright or retaliating to protect your ego. However, reacting impulsively robs you of the opportunity to grow. Pausing instead of reacting creates space for reflection, a moment to evaluate the critique objectively. Not every piece of criticism is valid, but within each lies the potential to learn something, even if it's just about the perspective of the person delivering it. Reflection allows you to separate the message from the emotion. Often, the delivery of criticism can feel more hurtful than the content itself. By stepping back and considering the intention behind the words, you can strip away the emotional weight and focus on the core message. This doesn't mean excusing disrespectful behavior, but recognizing that even poorly delivered feedback may contain insights worth considering. In this way, you take control of how criticism affects you, refusing to let it wound unnecessarily. Through quiet reflection, you also gain a better understanding of your own reactions. Criticism often stirs insecurities or unresolved issues within us. When someone points out a flaw, it may feel amplified if it aligns with doubts we already carry. By sitting with these feelings and exploring their origins, you uncover valuable self-awareness. This process not only helps you address the critique at hand, but also strengthens your emotional resilience for future challenges. Reflection also involves questioning the validity of the criticism. Not all feedback is accurate or constructive. Some may stem from misunderstandings, biases, or even malice. Taking the time to assess whether the criticism holds merit allows you to filter out what's useful and discard what isn't. This discernment is a skill that grows stronger with practice, enabling you to navigate criticism without being overwhelmed or misled. Quiet reflection also transforms criticism into a tool for refinement. When you view feedback as an opportunity to improve rather than an attack on your character, it shifts your mindset from defensiveness to growth. Constructive criticism highlights areas where you can sharpen your skills, strengthen your relationships, or align more closely with your values. Even harsh or exaggerated critiques can be valuable if approached with curiosity and a willingness to learn. The strength of reflection lies in its ability to turn critique into actionable steps. It's not enough to simply acknowledge the validity of criticism. The next step is to consider how you can apply what you've learned. This might involve seeking additional perspectives, developing new skills, or making adjustments to your behavior. By taking deliberate action, you demonstrate that you're not just receptive to feedback, but also committed to using it to grow. Reflection also teaches you to depersonalize criticism. Often, feedback says more about the person delivering it than it does about you. By recognizing this, you can approach criticism with compassion rather than defensiveness. Understanding that someone's harsh words may stem from their own frustrations, insecurities, or misunderstandings allows you to respond with grace rather than retaliation. This perspective protects your peace while maintaining the integrity of your relationships. In professional settings, reflection on criticism is especially valuable. Work environments often involve evaluations, feedback, and differing opinions. Handling criticism thoughtfully shows maturity and adaptability, qualities that build respect and trust. When you respond to feedback with quiet reflection and intentional action, you not only improve your performance, but also strengthen your reputation as someone who is open to growth. Criticism also offers insight into how others perceive you. This doesn't mean you should base your self-worth on others' opinions, but understanding their perspectives can help you refine how you communicate, collaborate, or present yourself. Reflection helps you identify patterns in the feedback you receive, offering clues about areas where your intentions and actions may not align. This alignment is key to building authenticity and fostering meaningful connections. Another benefit of quiet reflection is that it strengthens your ability to give constructive feedback to others. Experiencing criticism with grace and thoughtfulness equips you to deliver feedback in a way that is empathetic and effective. You understand the impact of tone, timing, and intent, ensuring that your words encourage growth rather than defensiveness. This skill enhances your relationships and your ability to lead and inspire others. Reflection also reveals the resilience within you. When you take the time to process criticism and emerge stronger, you build confidence in your ability to handle challenges. Over time, you become less afraid of feedback because you know it cannot shake your core sense of self. Instead of avoiding criticism, you begin to seek it out, recognizing it as an essential part of growth and self-improvement. Through reflection, you also learn to forgive, both yourself and others. Criticism can sometimes leave lingering feelings of shame or resentment. By reflecting on the experience, you can release these emotions and focus on what truly matters, moving forward. This forgiveness lightens your emotional load, allowing you to approach future challenges with a clear and open mind. Quiet reflection also strengthens your ability to navigate constructive and destructive criticism differently. Constructive feedback often comes from a place of care and is focused on helping you grow. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, is often rooted in negativity or a desire to hurt. By reflecting on the source and intent of the feedback, you can respond appropriately, addressing constructive criticism with openness and dismissing destructive criticism with confidence. The process of turning criticism into wisdom is not linear. It involves moments of discomfort, vulnerability, and self-examination. But within this process lies immense strength. Every piece of criticism you reflect on becomes a lesson, a stepping stone that leads you closer to your full potential. This transformation is not about changing who you are to please others. It's about evolving into the best version of yourself for your own growth and fulfillment. Criticism, when met with quiet reflection, becomes a gift. It teaches you about yourself, your relationships, and your path forward. It shows you where you can grow, where you are already strong, and where you might need to adjust your approach. By embracing this practice, you cultivate a mindset of resilience, adaptability, and wisdom, a mindset that allows you to thrive no matter what challenges come your way. In this transformation, you find the true strength of reflection, the ability to turn discomfort into clarity and harsh words into stepping stones for greatness. Transforming criticism into wisdom equips you with the resilience to learn and grow, but there's another skill that amplifies this strength: patience. Patience isn't simply about waiting, it's about how you wait and what you do while waiting. It is one of the most powerful tools for navigating life's complexities, achieving long-term success, and commanding respect. Patience is the quiet weapon of the Stoic, one that turns the rush of immediate gratification into the discipline of delayed action, leading to results that are not only effective but enduring. At its core, patience is about timing. Acting too soon often leads to mistakes, misunderstandings, or missed opportunities. The ability to wait until the right moment shows maturity and strategic thinking. This doesn't mean inaction, it means deliberate restraint. It's the practice of holding back when every instinct pushes you to act impulsively. The pause that patience creates is where clarity, insight, and understanding emerge, allowing you to make decisions that align with your goals and values. Patience also builds trust. In personal and professional relationships, people are drawn to those who exhibit calm and measured behavior. Rushing into decisions or reacting impulsively often signals insecurity or lack of foresight. Patience, on the other hand, communicates confidence and self-assurance. It shows that you are not swayed by urgency or pressure, but instead choose your actions with care. This steadiness inspires others to trust your judgment and rely on your guidance. The practice of delayed action often uncovers solutions that were not immediately visible. When faced with a problem, rushing to fix it can obscure the deeper issues at play. By waiting and observing, you allow the full scope of the situation to unfold. This broader perspective leads to solutions that are not only effective, but sustainable. The ability to pause and consider all angles is a hallmark of patience, and it often results in better outcomes than impulsive action ever could. Patience also allows you to manage expectations, both your own and those of others. When you recognize that meaningful results take time, you free yourself from the pressure to achieve instant success. This perspective fosters resilience, as you understand that setbacks and delays are part of the process. Instead of becoming discouraged, you remain focused on the bigger picture, knowing that persistence and steady effort will lead you to your goals. One of the most profound aspects of patience is its ability to teach self-control. Waiting requires you to resist the pull of immediate gratification, a challenge that strengthens your discipline over time. This self-control extends beyond the moment, shaping how you approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. Patience becomes not just a strategy, but a way of life, one that prioritizes lasting success over fleeting rewards. Delayed action often magnifies the impact of your decisions. By waiting for the right moment, your actions carry greater weight and significance. This is particularly true in communication. A well-timed response, delivered after careful thought, can shift the dynamics of a conversation or negotiation. Patience in speech not only prevents misunderstandings, but also demonstrates respect for others and confidence in your own perspective. Patience is also a powerful tool for managing conflict. In heated situations, the instinct to react quickly often escalates tensions. Choosing to wait, however, creates a space for emotions to settle. This pause allows for clearer thinking and opens the door to resolution. Patience in conflict is not about avoiding the issue. It's about addressing it with a calm and focused mindset, which leads to more constructive outcomes. In the pursuit of long-term goals, patience is essential. Many of life's greatest achievements require sustained effort and perseverance. The willingness to invest time and energy without immediate results is what separates fleeting success from lasting fulfillment. Patience allows you to stay committed to your vision, even when progress feels slow or obstacles arise. It reminds you that the journey is as important as the destination, and that enduring rewards often come to those who wait. Patience also fosters a sense of gratitude. When you slow down and embrace the process, you become more attuned to the small victories and moments of joy along the way. This shift in perspective transforms waiting from a burden into an opportunity for appreciation. Gratitude, in turn, reinforces your ability to remain patient, creating a positive cycle that enhances your overall well-being. In relationships, patience is a cornerstone of understanding and connection. Every person grows and evolves at their own pace, and the willingness to give others the time they need strengthens bonds. Whether it's supporting a friend through a difficult time or allowing space for a loved one to process their emotions, patience demonstrates compassion and respect. This patience is not passive, it's an active choice to prioritize the relationship over immediate resolution. The practice of patience also reduces stress. When you accept that not everything will happen on your timeline, you let go of unnecessary pressure and frustration. This acceptance creates a sense of peace as you focus on what you can control rather than what you cannot. Patience becomes a shield against the chaos of life, allowing you to navigate challenges with grace and resilience. Patience and confidence are deeply intertwined. The ability to wait without anxiety or doubt stems from a belief in your own capabilities and the understanding that your efforts will bear fruit in time. This confidence in yourself and the process reassures others and sets a powerful example of steady leadership. People respect those who remain calm and composed under pressure, and patience is a visible expression of this inner strength. Patience also enhances creativity. When you give yourself the time to explore ideas without rushing to conclusions, you open the door to innovation and inspiration. Delayed action allows your mind to process information more deeply, leading to insights that might have been missed in haste. This creative patience applies to problem-solving, artistic pursuits, and even everyday decision-making, enriching every aspect of your life. In professional settings, patience often translates to better strategic thinking. The willingness to delay action until the right opportunity arises can be the difference between short-term gains and long-term success. This approach requires a combination of discipline, foresight, and adaptability, all of which are strengthened through the practice of patience. It's a skill that sets leaders apart, as they prioritize sustainable outcomes over quick wins. The act of waiting also teaches humility. It reminds you that not everything is within your control, and that sometimes the best course of action is to step back and let events unfold naturally. This humility is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It shows that you trust the process and recognize the value of timing in achieving meaningful results. Patience requires faith, not just in the outcome but in yourself. It's the belief that your efforts will pay off, even if the rewards are not immediately visible. This faith sustains you through challenges and setbacks, reinforcing your commitment to your goals. It also inspires others, as they see your determination and steadiness in the face of uncertainty. The practice of patience is not without challenges. Waiting can be uncomfortable, especially in a world that prioritizes speed and instant gratification. But within this discomfort lies growth. Each moment of patience strengthens your resilience, discipline, and ability to stay focused on what truly matters. It's a skill that transforms not only how you approach challenges, but also how you experience life itself. Patience is not about doing nothing. It's about doing what's necessary at the right time. It's about understanding that the value of an action is often determined by its timing. By embracing this perspective, you gain a powerful tool for navigating life's complexities with wisdom, grace, and confidence. Patience is more than a virtue. It's a weapon, a strategy, and a way of being that leads to lasting success and fulfillment. Patience transforms how you approach challenges, allowing time to reveal clarity and better outcomes. Yet, to truly protect your peace and maintain control over your life, another layer of defense is essential: silence as a shield. Silence is not merely the absence of words. It is a powerful tool that protects your energy, fortifies your boundaries, and allows you to navigate interactions with intention. In a world that often demands immediate responses and constant engagement, choosing silence can feel radical, but it is one of the most effective ways to preserve your well-being and control the dynamics around you. Silence creates space, a necessary pause in the constant noise of communication and expectation. When you choose not to respond immediately, You give yourself time to process your emotions and thoughts. This space allows you to approach situations with clarity and intention rather than being swept up in reactive patterns. Whether in moments of conflict or everyday exchanges, silence grants you control over your narrative, ensuring you act in alignment with your values instead of being driven by the heat of the moment. The power of silence lies in its ability to set boundaries without confrontation. Words can often escalate tensions or blur lines, but silence speaks clearly without creating additional conflict. By withholding a response, you communicate your refusal to engage in negativity or manipulation. Silence acts as a natural filter, allowing you to protect your energy from conversations or dynamics that do not serve you. This boundary is not about avoidance, but about asserting your right to peace and self-respect. Using silence as a shield also allows you to reclaim your power in interactions. When others push for immediate answers or reactions, staying silent disrupts their expectations. It places the focus back on them, often causing them to reflect on their behavior or reconsider their approach. This shift in dynamics can de-escalate tensions and encourage more thoughtful communication. Silence becomes a subtle yet impactful way to assert yourself without unnecessary conflict. In relationships, silence can be a tool for maintaining healthy boundaries. Over-communication can sometimes dilute the impact of your words or make you feel drained. By choosing when to speak and when to remain silent, you create a balance that ensures your voice carries weight. Silence also allows you to listen more effectively, deepening your understanding of the other person while protecting your own emotional reserves. This balance fosters mutual respect and prevents the erosion of your energy. Silence is especially powerful in the face of criticism or negativity. When someone directs hurtful words or unnecessary criticism toward you, responding can often feed the conflict or give their words more power than they deserve. Silence, however, denies them the satisfaction of a reaction. It communicates that their negativity cannot penetrate your peace. Over time, this practice strengthens your resilience and reinforces your ability to protect your energy from external attacks. Another way silence protects your energy is by allowing you to prioritize what truly matters. Constant engagement with every comment, request, or demand can leave you scattered and depleted. By staying silent in situations that do not align with your priorities, you conserve your energy for what truly deserves your attention. Silence becomes a way to honor your values and focus on what brings you fulfillment rather than being pulled in every direction. Silence also offers a way to detach from the opinions of others. The need to explain yourself or defend your choices can be exhausting and unnecessary. By choosing silence instead of justification, you free yourself from the weight of seeking approval. This detachment is not about ignoring others, but about recognizing that your worth is not tied to their opinions. Silence reinforces your self-assurance and protects your inner peace from external judgment. In professional settings, silence is a tool for managing dynamics and maintaining authority. Whether in negotiations, meetings, or conflicts, silence can create an atmosphere of thoughtfulness and control. When you pause before responding, you demonstrate composure and confidence. This calculated use of silence can shift the tone of an interaction, encouraging others to respect your presence and approach discussions more thoughtfully. The protective nature of silence also extends to self-care. In a world filled with constant noise, taking time for silent reflection is essential for mental and emotional well-being. Moments of quiet allow you to reconnect with yourself, process your experiences, and recharge your energy. This intentional practice creates a sense of balance and clarity, equipping you to face life's challenges with a steady mind. Silence as a shield also encourages accountability in others. When you refuse to engage with manipulative or harmful behavior, you send a clear message that such actions will not be tolerated. Over time, this consistent use of silence can lead to more respectful interactions, as others recognize that their attempts to provoke or manipulate will be met with calm restraint. This practice also builds emotional intelligence. Silence teaches you to sit with your emotions instead of reacting impulsively. By observing how you feel in moments of tension or conflict, you gain insight into your triggers and patterns. This awareness allows you to respond with greater wisdom and control, protecting your energy while navigating challenging situations with grace. Silence as a shield does not mean shutting people out or avoiding communication. It's about being intentional with your words and recognizing when silence is the more powerful choice. This balance ensures that your energy is preserved while still allowing for meaningful connections. It's a practice that prioritizes quality over quantity, ensuring that your interactions are purposeful and fulfilling. The strategic use of silence also helps you maintain control over your narrative. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. Silence creates anticipation, causing others to pay closer attention when you do choose to speak. This dynamic allows you to communicate with greater impact while conserving your energy. Silence protects your energy by teaching you to let go. Not every comment, slight or challenge requires a response. By staying silent in the face of trivialities, you free yourself from the burden of engaging with unnecessary drama. This detachment is not about apathy, but about choosing where to invest your time and emotions. It's a practice of self-respect that reinforces your commitment to living intentionally. In moments of chaos or stress, silence creates a sanctuary. It allows you to step back, regain perspective, and respond with clarity. This pause is not a retreat, but a strategy, a way to ensure that your actions are aligned with your goals and values. Silence becomes a source of strength, grounding you in the midst of uncertainty. Silence also fosters patience, a quality that enhances your ability to protect your boundaries. By waiting before responding, you allow yourself to assess the situation fully and choose the most effective course of action. This patience prevents impulsive reactions that could compromise your energy or escalate conflicts. Through the practice of silence, you cultivate a deeper connection to yourself. By turning inward and embracing moments of quiet, you gain clarity about your needs, values, and intentions. This self-awareness becomes the foundation for setting boundaries and protecting your energy in all areas of life. Silence is not emptiness. It is a space of potential. It allows you to conserve your energy, set boundaries with confidence, and navigate life with intentionality. By choosing silence as a shield, you protect your mental and emotional well-being while creating a life that reflects your true priorities and values. It's a practice that empowers you to thrive in a world that often demands too much, reminding you that sometimes the most powerful response is none at all. Silence shields your energy, creating boundaries that allow you to maintain control and peace. Yet, to truly fortify this inner calm, there is another layer of strength: detachment from the need for validation. Seeking approval and constantly explaining yourself ties your sense of worth to others' perceptions. Letting go of this need is not about rejecting relationships or dismissing others' opinions. It's about reclaiming your autonomy and embracing the freedom to live authentically, unshackled by external judgment. Validation is a deeply ingrained human desire, rooted in the need to feel seen and valued. However, when this need becomes a driving force, it can lead to a cycle of dependency, where your actions are dictated by the fear of disapproval or the craving for praise. Detachment from validation allows you to break free from this cycle, giving you the courage to act in alignment with your own values and goals rather than the expectations of others. The need to explain yourself often stems from the belief that your choices must be understood to be justified. This mindset not only places unnecessary pressure on you, but also diminishes your sense of self-trust. Letting go of the compulsion to explain every decision is an act of self-respect. It's an acknowledgement that your choices, rooted in your own reasoning and principles, do not require external validation to be valid. Detachment from validation does not mean shutting out feedback or dismissing others' perspectives. It's about distinguishing between constructive input and the need for constant approval. When you are clear about your values and intentions, you can assess feedback objectively, integrating what is helpful and discarding what is not. This discernment strengthens your sense of self while maintaining openness to growth. Freedom from validation also allows you to embrace imperfection. When you no longer seek to meet everyone's expectations, you give yourself permission to make mistakes, learn, and grow without the weight of judgment. This shift fosters a sense of authenticity, as you are no longer driven by the need to appear flawless. Instead, you focus on genuine progress, prioritizing substance over appearance. Letting go of the need to explain yourself creates space for deeper self-awareness. Instead of seeking external approval, you turn inward, reflecting on your own motivations and values. This inward focus helps you align your actions with what truly matters to you, rather than what others expect. Over time, this alignment fosters a sense of fulfillment and inner peace, as you are no longer chasing external validation. Detachment from validation also strengthens your relationships. Paradoxically, when you stop seeking approval, you become more authentic and grounded, qualities that draw others toward you. People are naturally drawn to those who are confident in themselves, as this confidence creates a sense of stability and trust. By letting go of the need to explain yourself, you allow your actions to speak for themselves, fostering genuine connections based on mutual respect. This practice also protects you from manipulation. The need for validation can make you vulnerable to those who seek to exploit it, using praise or criticism to control your actions. Detachment acts as a shield, allowing you to remain true to yourself regardless of external influences. This resilience ensures that your choices are driven by your own values, not the whims of others. Freedom from validation also liberates your creativity. When you are not concerned with how your ideas or efforts will be received, you allow yourself to take risks, experiment, and explore new possibilities. This openness often leads to breakthroughs, as you are no longer constrained by the fear of failure or judgment. Detachment fosters a mindset of curiosity and innovation, where the process becomes more important than the outcome. Letting go of the need to explain yourself also deepens your sense of integrity. When your actions are rooted in your own principles rather than external approval, you live with greater authenticity and self-respect. This integrity not only strengthens your sense of self, but also inspires trust and admiration from others. People are drawn to those who stand firmly in their truth, even in the face of criticism or misunderstanding. Detachment from validation is not about rejecting community or connection. It's about finding balance. It's about understanding that while others' perspectives can be valuable, they do not define your worth. This balance allows you to engage with others from a place of confidence and openness, rather than seeking approval or fearing rejection. It transforms interactions into opportunities for mutual growth and understanding. This mindset also cultivates resilience. When you no longer depend on validation for your sense of worth, you become less affected by criticism or praise. This detachment allows you to navigate challenges with a steady mind, focusing on what truly matters rather than being swayed by external opinions. Over time, this resilience becomes a source of strength, enabling you to pursue your goals with clarity and determination. Letting go of the need to explain yourself also simplifies your life. Constantly seeking approval or justifying your actions can be exhausting and time-consuming. By detaching from this need, you free up mental and emotional energy to focus on what is truly important. This simplicity fosters a sense of peace, as you are no longer burdened by the weight of others' expectations. Detachment also enhances your decision-making. When you are not influenced by the need for validation, you make choices that are more aligned with your values and long-term goals. This clarity ensures that your actions are purposeful and effective, leading to outcomes that are both fulfilling and sustainable. It also strengthens your confidence in your ability to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and grace. Freedom from validation allows you to embrace your individuality. When you stop trying to fit into others' expectations, you begin to appreciate and celebrate what makes you unique. This self-acceptance not only enriches your own life, but also inspires others to embrace their own authenticity. Your willingness to stand in your truth becomes a beacon for those seeking to do the same. Letting go of validation also deepens your sense of self-worth. When you no longer rely on external approval to feel valued, you cultivate an inner sense of confidence and peace. This self-worth is unshaken by criticism or rejection, as it is rooted in your own understanding of your value. It allows you to navigate life with a sense of empowerment, knowing that your worth is not contingent on others' opinions. Detachment from validation is a process, not a destination. It requires ongoing reflection and self-awareness to recognize when you are seeking approval and to shift your focus back to your own values. This practice strengthens your ability to live authentically and with purpose, creating a life that is deeply fulfilling and aligned with your true self. It's a journey of freedom, one that liberates you from the constraints of external judgment and allows you to thrive on your own terms. Letting go of the need for validation frees you to live authentically, grounded in self-worth and aligned with your values. But this inner strength doesn't just transform your personal journey, it also has the power to influence and inspire those around you. Leadership, at its core, isn't about commanding attention or asserting dominance. It's about guiding others with quiet confidence and purpose. The most impactful leaders often lead not with their words, but through their actions. They inspire trust, loyalty, and respect without demanding it, showing that influence arises naturally when rooted in integrity and calm authority. A quiet leader is someone who leads by example. Their actions align with their principles, creating a sense of authenticity that people naturally admire. When others see you embodying the values you espouse, they are more inclined to follow your lead. This alignment builds trust, as it shows that your words and actions are consistent. It also demonstrates reliability, a quality that reassures others and fosters a sense of stability within a group. Leading with quiet authority requires humility. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room or dominating the conversation. It's about listening, observing, and understanding the needs of others. A quiet leader prioritizes the collective well-being over personal recognition, focusing on creating an environment where everyone feels valued and supported. This humility strengthens relationships, as it shows that you are not leading for your own gain, but for the benefit of the group. A key aspect of quiet leadership is emotional intelligence. By remaining calm and composed, especially in challenging situations, you set a tone of stability and resilience. Your ability to manage your own emotions not only inspires confidence, but also helps others regulate their reactions. People look to leaders for guidance, and your steady presence provides a sense of reassurance and clarity in moments of uncertainty. Quiet leaders also empower others by giving them the space to shine. Instead of micromanaging or overshadowing, they trust their team's abilities and encourage autonomy. This trust fosters a sense of ownership and responsibility, motivating others to contribute their best efforts. By stepping back and allowing others to take the spotlight, a quiet leader creates a culture of collaboration and mutual respect. The influence of a quiet leader often extends beyond their immediate actions. Their presence itself becomes a source of inspiration. People are drawn to their calm demeanor and sense of purpose, finding comfort and guidance in their steadiness. This influence is not forced but earned, built on a foundation of trust and respect. It demonstrates that true leadership doesn't require constant visibility. Sometimes the most effective leaders are those who work quietly behind the scenes. Communication is a crucial element of quiet leadership. Speaking with intention and clarity ensures that your words carry weight. A quiet leader chooses their moments carefully, knowing that well-timed, thoughtful communication can have a greater impact than constant commentary. This measured approach to communication fosters respect and ensures that your contributions are taken seriously. Patience is another hallmark of quiet leadership. Rushing decisions or forcing outcomes can create unnecessary stress and conflict. A quiet leader understands the value of waiting for the right moment, allowing time for reflection and input from others. This patience not only leads to better decisions, but also creates an environment of thoughtfulness and consideration. The strength of a quiet leader lies in their ability to inspire through action rather than instruction. They lead by showing rather than telling, demonstrating the behaviors and attitudes they wish to cultivate in others. This approach is particularly effective because it resonates on a deeper level. People are more likely to emulate what they see than what they are told, and a quiet leader's actions become a powerful example. A quiet leader also understands the importance of adaptability. They recognize that leadership is not a one-size-fits-all role and that different situations require different approaches. This flexibility allows them to navigate challenges with grace, adjusting their strategies to meet the needs of the moment. This adaptability not only strengthens their own effectiveness, but also inspires confidence in those they lead, as it shows a willingness to grow and learn. Trust is the cornerstone of quiet leadership. By consistently acting with integrity and demonstrating care for others, a quiet leader builds a foundation of trust that strengthens relationships and enhances collaboration. This trust is not demanded but earned through actions that show respect, empathy, and reliability. It creates a sense of safety and belonging, encouraging others to contribute openly and authentically. Self-awareness is another critical quality of a quiet leader. By understanding their own strengths, weaknesses, and values, they lead with authenticity and confidence. This self-awareness also helps them recognize and appreciate the unique qualities of others, fostering an environment of mutual respect and collaboration. A quiet leader values diversity of thought and encourages everyone to bring their perspectives to the table. Leading quietly also involves knowing when to step back. A quiet leader does not seek control for the sake of control, but understands the power of empowering others. They trust their team to take ownership of tasks and decisions, providing support and guidance when needed. This trust not only strengthens the team's capabilities, but also fosters a sense of confidence and independence among its members. Resilience is another defining trait of a quiet leader. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but a quiet leader approaches them with calm determination. Their ability to remain composed in the face of adversity inspires others to do the same, creating a culture of perseverance and collective strength. This resilience is not about suppressing emotions, but about channeling them constructively to overcome obstacles and find solutions. A quiet leader also values reflection. Taking the time to assess their actions, decisions, and interactions allows them to learn and grow continuously. This commitment to self-improvement not only enhances their own effectiveness, but also sets an example for others. It shows that leadership is a journey, one that requires humility, adaptability, and a willingness to evolve. The quiet leader's influence often extends beyond their immediate circle. Their actions and attitudes inspire a ripple effect, encouraging others to adopt similar qualities of thoughtfulness, empathy, and resilience. This broader impact demonstrates the power of leading with intention and authenticity, showing that leadership is not about exerting control, but about inspiring change. Quiet leadership is not about shrinking or hiding. It's about leading with purpose and authenticity. It's about recognizing that influence is not measured by volume, but by the depth of your impact. A quiet leader creates an environment of trust, respect, and collaboration, guiding others not through force, but through example. Their leadership is a reminder that true strength lies in humility, and that the most profound influence often comes from those who lead with quiet confidence and unwavering integrity. A quiet leader guides through composed actions, inspiring others without demanding attention. Yet, beyond leadership, lies another dimension of silence, its power as a mirror. Silence reflects, exposes, and reveals truths that words often obscure. When you remain silent, you create a space where others naturally fill the void with their intentions, emotions, and true character. This silence is not passive. It is an active, deliberate choice that allows you to observe and understand people on a deeper level. It's a lens through which clarity emerges, showing you what lies beneath the surface of interactions. Silence holds a unique power to unmask intentions. In conversations, when you withhold immediate responses, others tend to reveal more than they initially planned. The discomfort or anticipation created by your quiet presence encourages people to continue speaking, often leading them to disclose their motivations, concerns, or even insecurities. By simply holding space with silence, you gather insights that might otherwise remain hidden. This reflective quality of silence also helps you discern authenticity. Words can be rehearsed or manipulated, but body language, tone, and pacing often tell a more accurate story. When you allow silence to stretch in an interaction, you give yourself time to observe these subtle cues. A hesitation, a shift in posture, or a change in eye contact can reveal far more than words ever could. Silence sharpens your perception, enabling you to notice what is left unsaid. Silence also invites honesty. When you create a non-judgmental space through your quiet presence, others feel safer sharing their thoughts and feelings. This openness often brings out their genuine selves, as they are not trying to compete with your words or defend against interruptions. Your silence acts as a mirror, reflecting their truth without distortion, fostering a connection rooted in trust and understanding. In conflicts, silence has the power to diffuse tension and reveal the root of the issue. When emotions are high, words can escalate the situation, but silence provides a pause that allows both parties to reflect. This pause often brings clarity, helping others to see their own role in the conflict or reconsider their approach. Silence in these moments becomes a tool for resolution, guiding the conversation toward understanding rather than confrontation. Silence also amplifies the intentions of those who seek to manipulate or control. When faced with silence, manipulative individuals may overcompensate, revealing their true motives. They might push harder, speak faster, or attempt to fill the void with exaggerated claims or emotional appeals. This overextension often exposes their tactics, allowing you to see through their facade and respond with greater awareness. In relationships, silence helps you understand dynamics without interference. By stepping back and allowing others to lead the interaction, you gain insight into their communication style, priorities, and emotional needs. This understanding helps you navigate relationships with greater empathy and intentionality, as you are not projecting your own expectations onto the situation, but responding to what is truly present. The reflective power of silence also extends to understanding group dynamics. In team settings or social gatherings, remaining silent for a period allows you to observe how individuals interact, who takes charge, who listens, and who seeks validation. This observation reveals the underlying dynamics, enabling you to engage more effectively and contribute in a way that aligns with the group's needs. Silence as a mirror also enhances your ability to assess trustworthiness. When you refrain from filling every pause, you give others the opportunity to show their consistency or reveal their contradictions. Over time, patterns emerge, and you begin to see whether their actions align with their words. This discernment helps you build relationships based on mutual respect and integrity. By remaining silent, you also allow others to process their thoughts more deeply. In conversations, people often speak to clarify their own ideas, and your silence encourages this reflection. It's in these moments of unhurried expression that they often share their most genuine thoughts, free from the pressure of immediate responses or reactions. Your silence becomes a gift, allowing others to explore and articulate their inner truths. Silence in leadership settings encourages accountability. When someone seeks guidance or approval, your silence can prompt them to consider their own solutions or motivations. This approach empowers others to take ownership of their decisions, fostering independence and self-reliance. Silence in this context is not withholding. It's guiding through stillness, encouraging growth and self-awareness. Silence also protects your energy from unnecessary entanglements. Not every comment, opinion, or challenge requires a response. By choosing silence in situations where engagement would drain your energy or compromise your peace, you create a boundary that reflects your priorities. This boundary is not about ignoring others, but about valuing your time and emotional resources. The mirror of silence also reflects back on you, revealing your own patterns and tendencies. By observing how you feel and respond in silent moments, you gain insight into your triggers, biases, and assumptions. This self-awareness is invaluable as it helps you approach interactions with greater clarity and intentionality, free from unconscious reactions. Silence fosters patience, a quality that deepens your understanding of others. By waiting and observing rather than reacting immediately, you allow the full picture to unfold. This patience reveals nuances and complexities that might be missed in haste, enabling you to respond with greater precision and empathy. It shows that true understanding often requires time and quiet observation. In negotiations, silence is a strategic tool. It creates space for the other party to reveal their priorities, concerns, or concessions. By resisting the urge to fill the silence, you gain valuable information that strengthens your position. This approach demonstrates composure and confidence, qualities that command respect and influence outcomes in your favor. The reflective power of silence also helps you navigate emotional situations. When someone is upset or overwhelmed, your silence allows them to express their emotions fully without interruption. This creates a safe space for them to process their feelings, fostering connection and understanding. Your quiet presence becomes a source of comfort, showing that you are there to support without judgment or pressure. Silence invites depth in communication. It encourages others to move beyond surface-level exchanges and explore more meaningful topics. This depth often strengthens relationships, as it creates a space where vulnerability and authenticity can thrive. Your willingness to be silent shows that you value the other person's thoughts and feelings, building trust and mutual respect. The practice of using silence as a mirror is not about withholding or avoiding. It's about creating space for truth to emerge. It's a way of engaging with others that prioritizes understanding over control, observation over reaction. By embracing silence in this way, you develop a deeper awareness of the people and dynamics around you, enabling you to navigate life with wisdom and intention. Through silence, you allow the world to reveal itself to you. It's a tool of clarity, a path to understanding, and a means of connection. In the quiet moments, truths surface, intentions are laid bare, and deeper bonds are formed. Silence as a mirror is not a passive act. It's an active, intentional practice that transforms how you see and engage with the world. It's a reminder that sometimes the most profound insights come not from what is said, but from what is left unsaid. Silence as a mirror reveals the true nature of others, granting clarity and insight into their intentions. But to truly harness the potential of these observations, you must master the art of pausing. The power of pausing is transformative, allowing you to break free from automatic reactions and choose your responses with intention and wisdom. Pausing creates a bridge between impulse and action, a moment where clarity emerges and the opportunity for growth resides. Reactions often occur in the heat of the moment, fueled by emotions, assumptions, or external pressures. Without pausing, these knee-jerk responses can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, or actions that you later regret. The pause is not a delay. It's a chance to shift from automatic habits to thoughtful decisions. By taking this brief moment to assess the situation, you regain control over your actions and align them with your values. Pausing allows you to separate emotion from logic. When a situation triggers an intense emotional response, your initial reaction is often dictated by those emotions. A pause gives you the space to acknowledge how you feel without letting those feelings dictate your behavior. This separation is critical for responding in ways that are constructive rather than reactive. It's a practice of self-awareness, recognizing that emotions are valid but don't have to govern your choices. In high-pressure situations, pausing becomes a tool for clarity. The demands of urgency can cloud judgment, making it difficult to see the bigger picture. By pausing, you step back from the immediacy of the moment, allowing yourself to consider all factors before making a decision. This clarity often leads to better outcomes, as you are no longer reacting to the situation, but responding to it with intention and insight. The power of pausing extends to communication. Words spoken in haste can escalate conflicts or damage relationships. A pause before speaking allows you to consider not just what you want to say, but how it will be received. It's a moment to choose your words carefully, ensuring they align with your intentions and foster understanding rather than division. Pausing in communication also shows respect for the other person, demonstrating that you value the conversation enough to respond thoughtfully. Pausing also strengthens your ability to listen. When you're focused on formulating a response while someone else is speaking, you miss the depth of their message. A pause allows you to absorb what they're saying fully, creating a space for genuine understanding. This active listening not only enhances your relationships, but also equips you with the information needed to respond more effectively. The practice of pausing cultivates patience. In a fast-paced world, the urge to act quickly can feel overwhelming, but rushing often leads to mistakes or missed opportunities. Pausing teaches you to embrace the value of waiting, recognizing that some decisions or actions require time to develop fully. This patience is not about inaction, but about intentional timing, ensuring that your choices are thoughtful and well-informed. Pausing also creates space for reflection. In the moment, it's easy to focus solely on the immediate challenge or opportunity. But when you pause, you can consider the broader context, evaluating how your actions fit into your larger goals and values. This reflection often leads to more strategic decisions, as you are not merely reacting to the present, but planning for the future. The ability to pause is a form of self-control. It requires you to resist the pull of impulsive behavior, choosing instead to act with intention. This self-control strengthens over time, creating a foundation for resilience and discipline. It empowers you to navigate challenges with a calm and focused mindset, even in the face of stress or uncertainty. Pausing also enhances creativity. When faced with a problem, the instinct to act immediately can limit your options to the most obvious solutions. A pause allows your mind to explore alternative approaches, considering possibilities that may not be immediately apparent. This openness often leads to innovative solutions and fresh perspectives, as you are no longer constrained by the urgency of the moment. The practice of pausing fosters empathy. When someone's actions or words trigger a strong reaction, the pause gives you a chance to consider their perspective. Instead of reacting defensively, you can respond with understanding, addressing the underlying issue rather than the surface conflict. This empathy not only diffuses tension, but also strengthens your relationships, as it shows that you are willing to listen and care. Pausing is also a powerful tool for managing stress. The constant demands of life can create a sense of urgency that leaves you feeling overwhelmed. Pausing allows you to step back and take a breath, creating a moment of calm amidst the chaos. This practice not only reduces stress in the moment, but also builds your capacity to handle future challenges with greater ease. The ability to pause before responding also helps you maintain your integrity. Reacting impulsively can lead to actions that are inconsistent with your values or intentions. Pausing allows you to ensure that your response aligns with who you are and what you stand for. This alignment fosters a sense of authenticity and self-respect, as you know that your actions are guided by your principles rather than external pressures. Pausing is not just about avoiding mistakes, it's about creating opportunities. When you take the time to consider your response, you often discover possibilities that would have been overlooked in haste. These opportunities can lead to deeper connections, better solutions, and more meaningful outcomes. The pause becomes a moment of potential, a chance to turn challenges into growth and uncertainty into clarity. The practice of pausing also enhances your ability to learn from experience. By taking a moment to reflect on past actions and their outcomes, you gain insights that inform your future decisions. This reflection turns mistakes into lessons and successes into strategies, creating a cycle of continuous improvement. Pausing becomes not just a tool for better decisions in the moment, but a habit that fosters long-term growth. In relationships, pausing allows you to navigate conflicts with greater care. When emotions run high, reacting immediately can escalate tensions and create misunderstandings. Pausing provides a moment to assess the situation, consider the other person's perspective, and choose a response that fosters resolution rather than division. This practice strengthens your relationships, as it shows that you value understanding and connection over being right or winning the argument. Pausing is also a way to protect your energy. Not every situation or challenge requires your immediate attention or involvement. By pausing, you can evaluate whether a response is necessary or whether the best course of action is to let the situation unfold naturally. This discernment allows you to conserve your energy for what truly matters, avoiding unnecessary stress or conflict. The power of pausing lies in its simplicity. It's a small act with profound implications, creating space for clarity, intention, and growth. By integrating pauses into your daily life, you transform reactive habits into reflective choices, aligning your actions with your values and goals. The pause is not a hesitation, it's a moment of empowerment, a chance to respond to life with wisdom and purpose. Pausing before action strengthens your ability to make choices that align with your values and goals. But the strength to pause and reflect doesn't arise out of nowhere. It comes from within, a fortified core built through consistent silence and introspection. This inner foundation is your citadel, a sanctuary of resilience and emotional strength that allows you to navigate life's challenges with calm and clarity. Strengthening this core through silence is not about withdrawing from the world, but about preparing yourself to face it with greater confidence and composure. The inner citadel is built on the practice of silence, where you withdraw from external noise and turn inward to understand yourself more deeply. This quiet space allows you to process your thoughts, emotions, and experiences without distraction or interference. It is in these moments of introspection that you uncover patterns, gain clarity, and realign with your values. Silence becomes a tool for self-discovery, helping you to know yourself better and act with greater intention. In this silence, you confront the parts of yourself that are often overlooked or ignored. Without the distractions of daily life, you are faced with your doubts, fears, and vulnerabilities. This confrontation is not about judgment, but about understanding. By sitting with these aspects of yourself, you begin to see them for what they are, not weaknesses, but opportunities for growth. The inner citadel is not built by avoiding discomfort, but by embracing it and learning from it. The practice of introspection also helps you build emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, filled with moments of joy and sorrow, triumph and failure. The strength of your inner citadel lies in your ability to remain steady through it all. Silence allows you to process your emotions fully, acknowledging their presence without being overwhelmed by them. This practice helps you develop a balanced perspective, where you neither suppress your feelings nor let them control you. Resilience also comes from cultivating self-trust. In the quiet moments of introspection, you reflect on your choices and actions, learning from your successes and mistakes. This reflection builds confidence in your ability to navigate challenges and make decisions that align with your values. The more you trust yourself, the stronger your inner citadel becomes, as it is rooted in a deep understanding of who you are and what you stand for. Building your inner citadel through silence also enhances your ability to handle external criticism and judgment. When you are grounded in your own sense of self, the opinions of others hold less power over you. This doesn't mean you dismiss feedback entirely, but that you approach it with discernment, separating what is helpful from what is not. The strength of your inner citadel allows you to listen without being shaken, responding thoughtfully rather than reactively. The practice of quiet introspection also helps you clarify your priorities. In the noise of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Silence creates a space where you can reconnect with your goals and values, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your purpose. This clarity gives your life direction and meaning, strengthening your inner citadel as a source of guidance and stability. Another benefit of building your inner citadel is the ability to cultivate patience. When you regularly practice silence, you develop a deeper appreciation for the value of waiting and observing. This patience extends to how you approach challenges, relationships, and opportunities, allowing you to act with greater wisdom and foresight. The strength of your inner citadel lies in its ability to remain unshaken by urgency or pressure, providing a steady foundation for thoughtful action. Silence also nurtures creativity and problem-solving. When you step away from the noise and allow your mind to wander in stillness, you often discover new perspectives and ideas. This creativity is not forced, but emerges naturally from the quiet space you create. The inner citadel is not just a place of refuge, but a wellspring of inspiration, where the solutions to life's challenges often reveal themselves. Building your inner citadel requires discipline and commitment. The practice of silence is not always easy, especially in a world that values constant activity and engagement. But it is in the quiet moments that you cultivate the strength to face life with resilience and clarity. This discipline becomes a cornerstone of your inner citadel, reminding you that true strength comes not from external validation, but from within. The inner citadel also serves as a source of peace. In a world filled with chaos and conflict, it provides a sanctuary where you can retreat and recharge. This peace is not about avoiding the world, but about equipping yourself to engage with it from a place of calm and strength. The more you cultivate this peace through silence, the more resilient and composed you become in the face of life's challenges. This inner strength also enhances your relationships. When you are grounded in your own sense of self, you are better able to connect with others authentically and empathetically. You listen more deeply, respond more thoughtfully, and approach conflicts with a desire for resolution rather than dominance. The inner citadel is not just a source of strength for yourself, but also a foundation for building meaningful connections with others. Silence also helps you cultivate gratitude. In the quiet moments, you become more aware of the small blessings in your life, the things that often go unnoticed in the rush of daily activity. This awareness fosters a sense of appreciation and contentment, strengthening your inner citadel as a place of joy and fulfillment. Gratitude becomes a source of resilience, reminding you of the abundance in your life even during challenging times. The practice of silence also strengthens your ability to adapt to change. Life is constantly shifting, and the ability to remain steady amidst uncertainty is a hallmark of resilience. Your inner citadel, built through introspection and self-awareness, becomes a place where you can navigate change with confidence and grace. This adaptability is not about ignoring difficulties, but about finding strength within yourself to face them. The inner citadel also provides a sense of purpose. In the quiet moments of reflection, you reconnect with your deeper motivations and aspirations. This sense of purpose gives your life direction and meaning, guiding your actions and decisions. The strength of your inner citadel lies in its ability to anchor you to this purpose, providing clarity and focus even in the midst of distractions or challenges. Through the practice of silence, you also cultivate a sense of humility. By turning inward and acknowledging your own limitations and vulnerabilities, you develop a deeper understanding of yourself and others. This humility strengthens your inner citadel, as it reminds you that true strength is not about perfection, but about authenticity and growth. The process of building your inner citadel is ongoing. It requires consistent effort and intention, but the rewards are profound. It equips you with the resilience, clarity, and peace to navigate life with confidence and purpose. Through silence, you create a foundation that supports you in every aspect of your life, reminding you that true strength is not found outside, but within. The inner citadel strengthens your core, granting you resilience and clarity. This fortified space allows you to navigate the complexities of life with confidence. Yet, to channel this inner strength effectively, you must also refine the way you make decisions. Silence is not just a tool for introspection, but also a catalyst for wise and deliberate action. When you step back and embrace silence before making decisions, you access a depth of clarity and understanding that hasty choices cannot provide. This serenity is your greatest advantage, transforming decision-making into a process rooted in calm, insight, and purpose. Silence creates a pause that interrupts the rush to decide. The pressure to act quickly can cloud judgment, pushing you toward decisions that feel urgent rather than intentional. When you allow silence to intervene, you grant yourself the gift of time to evaluate, reflect, and weigh your options without the influence of stress or external demands. This pause is not indecision. It is the foundation of deliberate and thoughtful action. The clarity that comes with silence allows you to separate emotion from logic. Decisions driven by heightened emotions, whether anger, fear, or excitement, often overlook important details or long-term consequences. Silence creates a buffer, giving your emotions space to settle and allowing your rational mind to take the lead. In this stillness, you can examine your feelings without being controlled by them, ensuring that your choices are balanced and well considered. Silence also fosters a deeper connection to your intuition. In the noise of daily life, it's easy to lose touch with your inner voice, the quiet guidance that often knows what's best before your conscious mind catches up. When you step back into silence, you tune into this intuitive wisdom, accessing insights that might otherwise remain buried under distractions or external influences. This connection to intuition enhances your decision-making as it integrates both logic and inner knowing. Silence is a powerful tool for evaluating information. In moments of quiet, you can sift through the facts, separate what is relevant from what is not, and identify patterns that might not be immediately obvious. This analytical process benefits from the absence of noise, as your mind has the space to process details and consider perspectives without interruption. The clarity gained through silence enables you to make choices grounded in understanding and precision. Stepping back into silence also allows you to anticipate consequences. Decisions are not made in a vacuum. They ripple outward, affecting people, situations, and future possibilities. Silence gives you the mental space to think through these ripple effects, considering not only the immediate outcomes, but also the broader implications of your actions. This foresight ensures that your decisions are aligned with your goals and values, minimizing regrets and maximizing positive impact. Silence enhances your ability to weigh priorities. In a world filled with competing demands, it's easy to feel pulled in multiple directions. The quiet space created by silence helps you focus on what truly matters, cutting through the noise of urgency and distraction. This focus allows you to allocate your time and energy more effectively, ensuring that your decisions reflect your core values and long-term aspirations. Silence also reveals blind spots. When you pause before deciding, you give yourself the opportunity to question assumptions, challenge biases, and consider alternative perspectives. This reflective process often uncovers aspects of the situation that were initially overlooked, leading to more informed and balanced decisions. Silence becomes a lens that sharpens your vision, helping you see the full picture with greater clarity. In group settings, silence is a tool for collaboration and understanding. When faced with a collective decision, stepping back into silence allows others to contribute their insights and perspectives. This quiet observation helps you identify patterns in the group's dynamics, understand different viewpoints, and assess the strengths and weaknesses of proposed ideas. Silence fosters a sense of inclusivity and respect, enhancing the quality of the decision-making process. The serenity of silence also helps you resist external pressures. The opinions and expectations of others can easily influence your choices, pulling you away from your own values and priorities. Silence creates a protective barrier, giving you the space to reconnect with your inner compass before acting. This detachment strengthens your ability to make decisions that are true to yourself, rather than being swayed by external noise. Silence encourages patience, a quality that is essential for wise decision-making. Not every choice needs to be made immediately, and rushing can lead to unnecessary mistakes or missed opportunities. When you practice patience through silence, you allow situations to unfold naturally, often revealing solutions or insights that were not initially apparent. This approach demonstrates confidence and control as you trust in the process rather than succumbing to the urgency of the moment. The practice of silence also cultivates humility in decision-making. By stepping back and embracing quiet reflection, you acknowledge that you don't have all the answers and that seeking clarity takes time. This humility opens the door to learning and growth as you approach decisions with a mindset of curiosity and openness. It also fosters stronger relationships, as others see your willingness to listen and consider multiple perspectives. Silence transforms decision-making into a process of alignment. Instead of reacting to circumstances, you use the pause to ensure that your choices align with your values, goals, and vision for the future. This alignment creates a sense of purpose and direction, as each decision becomes a step toward the life you want to build. The serenity of silence reinforces this alignment, grounding your actions in authenticity and intention. Silence also allows you to test the resilience of your choices. In the quiet moments before deciding, you can mentally play out different scenarios, assessing how each option might unfold. This practice helps you identify potential challenges or obstacles, allowing you to refine your approach before taking action. The clarity gained through this process strengthens your confidence in your decisions, as you have already considered and prepared for potential outcomes. The serenity of silence fosters self-awareness, an essential quality for effective decision-making. In the quiet, you become more attuned to your own biases, motivations, and fears. This self-awareness helps you approach decisions with greater objectivity as you recognize and address the factors that might cloud your judgment. The more you understand yourself, the more empowered you are to make choices that reflect your true priorities and values. Silence is also a source of strength in moments of uncertainty. When faced with complex or ambiguous situations, the urge to act quickly can be overwhelming. But silence provides a space for clarity to emerge, allowing you to sit with the uncertainty without rushing to resolve it. This practice builds resilience as you learn to trust in your ability to navigate ambiguity and make thoughtful decisions, even in the absence of certainty. The practice of silence also enhances your ability to learn from past decisions. By reflecting on your choices in quiet moments, you gain valuable insights into what worked, what didn't, and why. This reflection turns mistakes into lessons and successes into strategies, creating a foundation for continuous improvement. The clarity gained through silence ensures that each decision builds on the wisdom of your experiences. Silence empowers you to take ownership of your decisions. When you step back and reflect before acting, you ensure that your choices are truly your own, not driven by external pressures or fleeting emotions. This ownership fosters a sense of accountability and confidence as you stand by your decisions with the knowledge that they were made with intention and care. It also reinforces your integrity as your actions align with your values and principles. The serenity of silence is not about inaction. It's about creating the conditions for thoughtful, deliberate action. It transforms decision-making from a reactive process into a reflective one, where each choice is guided by clarity, purpose, and wisdom. By embracing silence as a tool for decision-making, you cultivate a sense of calm and confidence that empowers you to navigate life's complexities with grace and intention. Silence becomes your greatest ally, a source of clarity and strength that leads to decisions you can stand by and grow from. The serenity gained from silent decision-making equips you with clarity and confidence. Yet, there's a deeper level of mastery that involves not just the mind, but the heart, the ability to govern your emotions with unwavering strength. Emotional sensitivity can often feel like a storm, tossing you in every direction. But what if you could stand firm, unshaken by the tempests of anger, fear, or despair? The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from within, from mastering one's own emotional landscape. By adopting Stoic principles, you can become emotionally resilient, maintaining inner peace regardless of external circumstances. Emotional mastery doesn't mean becoming cold or detached. It's about achieving balance. It's the art of feeling deeply, yet remaining in control. The Stoics taught that emotions are not enemies but signals, indicators of our perceptions and judgments about the world. By understanding and reframing these perceptions, you can transform reactive habits into thoughtful responses, leading to a more centered and fulfilling life. One fundamental Stoic rule for mastering emotions is recognizing what is within your control and what is not. This distinction is crucial. You cannot control the actions of others, the outcomes of events, or the passage of time. However, you can control your own thoughts, attitudes, and responses. By focusing your energy on what you can influence, your inner world, you free yourself from the frustration and anxiety that come from trying to control the uncontrollable. This principle encourages you to let go of attachment to external outcomes. When you release the need to manipulate or predict what happens outside of yourself, you reduce stress and disappointment. This doesn't mean you stop caring or striving. It means you invest in the process rather than fixating on the result. You do your best, align your actions with your values, and accept whatever comes with grace. Another Stoic practice is reframing your perceptions. Events themselves are neutral. It's your interpretation that gives them meaning. By consciously choosing how you perceive situations, you alter your emotional responses. For example, if someone criticizes you, instead of feeling hurt or angry, you can view it as an opportunity to learn or a reflection of their own struggles. This shift in perspective diminishes negative emotions and empowers you to respond constructively. Mindfulness plays a significant role in emotional mastery. By staying present, you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings as they arise. This awareness allows you to observe emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. You acknowledge their presence, but choose not to let them dictate your actions. Practicing mindfulness strengthens your ability to pause before reacting, giving you the space to decide how you want to respond. Cultivating indifference to indifferent things is another Stoic technique. This means recognizing that many things we deem important are actually neutral in nature. Wealth, fame, and even health are external and transient. Placing too much value on them can lead to unnecessary emotional turmoil. By understanding that these externals do not define your worth or happiness, you liberate yourself from the emotional highs and lows associated with gaining or losing them. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of focusing on virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By aligning your actions with these virtues, you create a moral compass that guides you through life's challenges. This focus shifts your attention from external events to internal character development, fostering a sense of fulfillment that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. Practicing negative visualization is a Stoic exercise that involves contemplating potential hardships or losses. This might seem counterintuitive, but it prepares you mentally and emotionally for difficulties. By considering these possibilities, You reduce their impact if they do occur and increase your appreciation for what you currently have. This practice builds resilience, as you're less likely to be caught off guard by life's unpredictability. Embracing impermanence is another key to emotional resilience. Everything in life is temporary: relationships, possessions, even emotions themselves. Accepting this truth allows you to experience life's moments fully without clinging to them. This detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you understand that change is inevitable, and you find peace in that understanding. Self-reflection is essential in mastering emotions. Regularly examining your thoughts and actions helps you identify patterns that may lead to emotional instability. By acknowledging these patterns, you can work to change them. Journaling is a practical tool for this purpose. Writing down your experiences and reactions allows you to analyze them objectively, providing insights that fuel personal growth. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. Gratitude fosters positive emotions and reduces feelings of envy, frustration, or disappointment. By regularly acknowledging and appreciating the good in your life, you strengthen your emotional foundation, making it less susceptible to negative influences. Setting realistic expectations is crucial. Unrealistic expectations often lead to disappointment and emotional distress. By aligning your expectations with reality, you reduce the gap between what you hope for and what actually occurs. This doesn't mean lowering your standards or aspirations, but understanding that outcomes may vary and being prepared to adapt. Emotional mastery also involves developing empathy. Understanding others' perspectives can reduce feelings of anger or frustration toward them. Empathy allows you to see beyond your own experience, recognizing that everyone is navigating their own challenges. This understanding fosters compassion and patience, softening emotional reactions that may arise from misunderstandings. Physical well-being impacts emotional health. Regular exercise, sufficient sleep, and a balanced diet contribute to a stable mood and increased energy levels. Taking care of your body supports your mind's ability to process emotions effectively. Incorporating practices like deep breathing or meditation can further enhance your emotional equilibrium. Establishing boundaries protects your emotional space. By clearly defining what you will and will not accept from others, you prevent unnecessary stress and emotional drain. Boundaries are an expression of self-respect and help maintain healthy relationships. They allow you to engage with others without compromising your emotional well-being. Practicing acceptance is a powerful tool. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means acknowledging reality without resistance. When you accept situations as they are, you free yourself from the emotional struggle of wishing they were different. This acceptance creates a foundation from which you can make rational decisions about how to move forward. Focusing on the present moment anchors you in reality. Worrying about the future or ruminating on the past often triggers unnecessary emotional responses. By staying engaged with the here and now, you reduce anxiety and regret. Mindfulness techniques, such as paying attention to your senses or breathing, can help you remain grounded. Developing emotional detachment involves recognizing that your feelings are not you. They are temporary states that pass through your consciousness. By observing your emotions without identification, you create space between yourself and your reactions. This detachment empowers you to choose how to respond rather than being driven by impulse. Embracing simplicity reduces emotional clutter. When you simplify your life, whether by decluttering your environment, streamlining your commitments, or reducing material desires, you lessen the emotional weight you carry. Simplicity fosters clarity, allowing you to focus on what truly matters and reducing stress caused by unnecessary complexities. Learning to let go is essential. Holding on to grudges, past mistakes, or unfulfilled desires keeps you trapped in negative emotional cycles. Letting go is an act of liberation, freeing you from the burden of what cannot be changed. This release opens up space for new experiences and positive emotions to enter your life. Practicing forgiveness, both toward others and yourself, heals emotional wounds. Forgiveness doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but releases you from the hold it has on your emotions. By forgiving, you reclaim your power and move forward without the weight of resentment or guilt. Engaging in activities that align with your passions and values enriches your emotional life. Pursuing meaningful endeavors brings joy and fulfillment, counteracting negative emotions. This engagement creates a positive feedback loop, where satisfaction in your actions reinforces emotional stability. Building a supportive community enhances emotional resilience. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and encourage you provides a buffer against emotional challenges. These connections offer perspective, advice, and companionship, reinforcing your ability to navigate emotions constructively. Understanding that suffering is a part of the human experience normalizes emotional discomfort. Accepting that challenges and pain are inevitable reduces the shock and resistance when they occur. This perspective allows you to approach difficulties with a problem-solving mindset rather than emotional turmoil. Investing in continuous learning keeps your mind engaged and adaptable. Acquiring new skills or knowledge stimulates your brain and provides a sense of accomplishment. This growth mindset contributes to emotional resilience by reinforcing your ability to adapt and overcome obstacles. Maintaining a sense of humor lightens emotional burdens. Laughter and playfulness offer relief from stress and create positive emotional states. Embracing humor doesn't diminish the seriousness of life's challenges, but provides a healthy coping mechanism to balance emotions. Regularly revisiting your goals and values ensures that your actions remain aligned with your true self. This alignment fosters a sense of purpose and direction, stabilizing your emotional landscape. When you live in accordance with your principles, you reduce internal conflict and enhance emotional harmony. Practicing self-compassion is vital. Treating yourself with kindness during times of struggle reinforces your emotional strength. Acknowledging that everyone faces difficulties allows you to be gentle with yourself, reducing negative self-talk and promoting a healthier emotional state. Recognizing and challenging irrational beliefs prevents them from fueling negative emotions. Cognitive restructuring involves identifying distorted thoughts and replacing them with more balanced perspectives. This process diminishes emotional reactions rooted in misconceptions. Engaging in acts of kindness boosts positive emotions. Helping others not only benefits them, but also enhances your own emotional well-being. Altruism fosters feelings of connectedness and purpose, counteracting negative emotional states. Embracing change as a constant reduces resistance to new situations. Flexibility in the face of change allows you to adapt without undue stress. Viewing change as an opportunity rather than a threat transforms your emotional response into one of curiosity and openness. Setting aside time for relaxation and hobbies rejuvenates your emotional energy. Balancing work and leisure prevents burnout and maintains emotional equilibrium. Prioritizing activities that bring joy and relaxation supports overall emotional health. Developing a personal philosophy or belief system provides a framework for understanding the world. This framework offers comfort and guidance during challenging times, reinforcing emotional resilience. Whether spiritual or secular, a guiding philosophy anchors you amidst life's uncertainties. Acknowledging that you cannot please everyone liberates you from the emotional strain of seeking universal approval. Accepting that differing opinions and disagreements are natural reduces anxiety and allows you to focus on authentic connections. Practicing patience cultivates emotional stability. Recognizing that some outcomes take time reduces frustration and impulsivity. Patience allows you to navigate situations thoughtfully, minimizing reactive emotions. Incorporating rituals or routines creates a sense of stability. Regular practices, whether morning meditation or evening reflections, ground you emotionally. These routines provide consistency, fostering a secure emotional foundation. Celebrating small victories reinforces positive emotions. Recognizing and appreciating progress, no matter how minor, builds confidence and satisfaction. This acknowledgement fuels motivation and contributes to a positive emotional state. Understanding that you are responsible for your own happiness empowers you. External circumstances and other people cannot dictate your emotional well-being unless you allow them to. Embracing this responsibility motivates you to take proactive steps toward emotional mastery. By integrating these Stoic principles into your life, you cultivate emotional resilience and control. This journey is ongoing, requiring patience and dedication. But the rewards are profound. A life where you navigate emotions with wisdom, respond to challenges with grace, and experience a deep sense of inner peace. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings, but about understanding and guiding them. It's about becoming the calm within the storm, a steady presence in a world of constant change. Emotional mastery equips you with the strength to navigate life with clarity and resilience, but true greatness demands more than just control over your emotions. It requires daily habits that shape your character, guide your actions, and keep you grounded in the face of life's complexities. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, practiced habits that transformed his leadership and personal life into models of Stoic greatness. These habits are timeless principles that continue to offer profound insights into how we can live with purpose, integrity, and wisdom. The first habit centers on waking each day with intention. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of preparing the mind for the challenges ahead. He would remind himself that he would encounter selfishness, dishonesty, and ignorance, but that none of these external factors had the power to corrupt his inner state. This daily preparation was not about bracing for conflict, but about cultivating resilience. Starting the day with a clear understanding of what you might face gives you the mental fortitude to respond with composure and purpose. Another transformative habit is the practice of gratitude. Marcus frequently acknowledged the blessings in his life, from his family to the mentors who shaped his thinking. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present, fostering a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. This practice enriches your perspective, reminding you of the resources, relationships, and opportunities you already possess. By regularly reflecting on these blessings, you cultivate a sense of contentment that shields you from envy and dissatisfaction. Self-reflection was central to Marcus Aurelius's philosophy. He used journaling as a tool to examine his thoughts, actions, and motives. Writing down your reflections creates a space for clarity, allowing you to analyze your decisions and identify areas for growth. This habit encourages accountability, as it forces you to confront not only your successes, but also your shortcomings. The act of reflection strengthens self-awareness, a cornerstone of Stoic greatness. A disciplined approach to action is another hallmark of Stoic practice. Marcus emphasized the importance of focusing on the task at hand, giving it your full attention without being distracted by external concerns. This habit of mindfulness in action ensures that your efforts are aligned with your goals and values. It also cultivates a sense of fulfillment, as you find satisfaction in doing your best, rather than being consumed by the outcome. Living in accordance with nature was a guiding principle for Marcus Aurelius. For the Stoics, this meant aligning your actions with the greater good and understanding your role within the broader context of humanity. This habit encourages humility, as it reminds you that your individual desires are part of a larger, interconnected system. By considering the impact of your actions on others and the world, you make choices that reflect wisdom and compassion. Practicing restraint is another critical Stoic habit. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of controlling impulses and desires. Restraint is not about deprivation, but about recognizing what truly matters and letting go of what is unnecessary. This practice fosters freedom, as you are no longer driven by external temptations or fleeting pleasures. Instead, you focus on cultivating virtues and pursuing meaningful goals. Marcus also emphasized the value of perspective. He frequently reminded himself of the impermanence of life and the vastness of the universe. This habit of zooming out allows you to see your problems and challenges in their proper context, reducing their emotional weight. Perspective fosters resilience, as it helps you navigate difficulties with a sense of proportion and detachment. Service to others was a defining feature of Marcus Aurelius's leadership. He viewed his role as emperor not as a position of privilege, but as an opportunity to contribute to the welfare of his people. This habit of service reminds you that greatness is not measured by personal achievements alone, but by the positive impact you have on others. Acts of kindness and generosity not only benefit those around you, but also enrich your own sense of purpose and fulfillment. Embracing adversity is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Marcus saw challenges as opportunities for growth, believing that obstacles test and strengthen your character. This habit of reframing difficulties as lessons transforms setbacks into stepping stones. By approaching adversity with curiosity and courage, you develop resilience and adaptability, qualities essential for navigating life's uncertainties. The final habit is the cultivation of inner peace. Marcus Aurelius often returned to the idea that true greatness lies in maintaining tranquility amidst chaos. This habit involves creating a sanctuary within yourself, a space of calm that external circumstances cannot disturb. Practices such as meditation, mindfulness, or simply taking moments of silence help you nurture this inner serenity. It is this peace that allows you to respond to life with wisdom and clarity, embodying the essence of Stoic greatness. These habits, drawn from the teachings and practices of Marcus Aurelius, are not abstract ideals, but practical tools for daily living. They guide you in cultivating a life of purpose, resilience, and fulfillment, showing that greatness is not an end state, but a continuous journey. By integrating these principles into your daily routine, you align your actions with your highest values, creating a legacy of wisdom and strength. This is the path to true greatness, one of intention, integrity, and unwavering commitment to growth. Greatness, as built upon Stoic habits, equips you with resilience, integrity, and wisdom. However, part of navigating life effectively also means recognizing when those around you may not be genuine. Understanding the subtleties of human behavior allows you to protect your peace, maintain meaningful relationships, and avoid unnecessary emotional entanglements. Dealing with insincerity requires clarity, strength, and a commitment to the values that guide you. When people are fake with you, their actions often stem from insecurity, manipulation, or self-interest. These behaviors can be subtle, masked behind politeness, or even apparent friendliness. The Stoic approach emphasizes awareness without judgment, allowing you to discern such intentions without letting them disrupt your equilibrium. Recognizing these signs is not about becoming cynical, but about ensuring that your energy is spent on authentic and reciprocal connections. One of the clearest indications of insincerity is inconsistency. When someone's actions don't align with their words, it signals a disconnect in their intentions. They may promise support, but fail to show up when it matters. Observing patterns over time helps you see whether their behavior is genuine or merely performative. This inconsistency erodes trust, and the Stoic approach urges you to set boundaries without harboring resentment. Another sign is excessive flattery. Compliments are meaningful when they are specific and heartfelt, but when someone constantly praises you without basis, it can feel shallow. Overly flattering individuals may seek to manipulate or curry favor rather than build genuine rapport. A Stoic perspective teaches you to stay grounded, neither swayed by excessive praise nor crushed by criticism. It's about maintaining balance and recognizing when words lack substance. A lack of transparency is another red flag. When someone avoids direct answers, shifts blame, or deflects accountability, they may be hiding their true intentions. Authenticity thrives in openness, and when people consistently evade straightforward communication, it creates doubt. Stoicism reminds you to remain calm in the face of ambiguity, focusing on what you can control, your response and decisions. Superficial interest in your life often signals insincerity. If someone only engages with you when it benefits them or avoids deeper conversations, their connection may lack depth. They may feign interest, but show little effort in understanding your struggles, values, or aspirations. The Stoic approach encourages you to value relationships built on mutual respect and shared understanding, rather than shallow exchanges. Frequent criticism disguised as humor is another tactic of insincere individuals. They may make jokes at your expense under the guise of being playful, yet their words leave you feeling undermined or diminished. Authentic relationships uplift rather than erode self-worth. Stoicism teaches you to evaluate such interactions objectively, addressing them if needed, but not allowing them to unsettle your sense of self. Inconsistency in how someone treats others versus how they treat you can also reveal their lack of authenticity. If someone is kind and respectful to you but dismissive or rude to others, their behavior may be situational rather than genuine. Stoics encourage consistency in character, valuing individuals who demonstrate respect universally, not selectively. Another subtle sign is emotional manipulation. People who are fake with you may use guilt, pity, or other emotional tactics to control your responses. They may create situations where you feel obligated to act against your best interests. The Stoic principle of focusing on what is within your control reminds you that emotional manipulation only holds power if you allow it to. Recognizing these tactics empowers you to maintain your boundaries and act with intention. These signs of insincerity serve as reminders to approach relationships with discernment. Genuine connections enrich your life, while fake interactions drain your energy and peace. Stoicism equips you with the clarity to see people for who they truly are, without bitterness or judgment. It's about aligning your interactions with your values, fostering meaningful relationships, and letting go of those that don't serve your growth. When faced with insincerity, the Stoic approach is to respond with wisdom and grace. By staying true to your principles and focusing on what you can control, you protect your emotional well-being and ensure that your actions reflect the strength of your character. Authenticity is a cornerstone of Stoicism, not only in how you live, but also in the connections you choose to nurture. Recognizing insincerity allows you to protect your energy and maintain authentic connections. But to truly navigate relationships and interactions with wisdom, You need a deeper understanding of human behavior, an ability to read people without them even realizing it. This is not about manipulation or judgment, but about cultivating awareness, empathy, and discernment. Stoicism teaches you to observe, listen, and analyze with precision, enabling you to see beyond words and actions to uncover true intentions. Reading people begins with attentive observation. Most communication is nonverbal, conveyed through body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. When you pay close attention to these subtle cues, you gain insights into what someone is truly feeling or thinking. For example, crossed arms might signal defensiveness, while leaning in could indicate engagement. The key is to notice these patterns without jumping to conclusions. Observation is about collecting information, not forming immediate judgments. Active listening is another powerful tool. Many people listen only to respond, but true listening involves giving your full attention to what is being said, as well as how it is being said. Changes in pitch, pauses, or hesitations can reveal underlying emotions or thoughts. By focusing on the speaker's words and delivery, you demonstrate respect while also gaining deeper insight into their mindset. Context is essential for understanding behavior. Actions and words often carry different meanings depending on the situation. A sarcastic comment in a friendly gathering might be playful, while the same comment in a tense meeting could be confrontational. When you consider the context of an interaction, you align your interpretation with the broader circumstances, reducing the risk of misunderstanding. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of detachment when reading others. By separating your own emotions and biases from the observation process, you ensure that your perceptions are not clouded by personal assumptions. This objectivity allows you to see people more clearly, focusing on their actions and words rather than your own projections. Detachment creates space for clarity, enabling you to interpret behavior with accuracy. Empathy is a cornerstone of understanding people. To read someone effectively, you must step into their perspective, considering their experiences, motivations, and struggles. This requires humility and a willingness to set aside your own perspective momentarily. Empathy deepens your understanding of why someone behaves a certain way, fostering connection and reducing the likelihood of conflict. Patterns in behavior often reveal more than isolated actions. By observing how someone consistently responds to different situations, you gain insight into their character and values. Stoics teach that actions, not words, are the truest reflection of a person. Recognizing patterns helps you differentiate between genuine behavior and performative actions, guiding you in building trust or setting boundaries. The ability to read people is also enhanced by understanding human psychology. Basic principles, such as how people respond to stress or seek validation, provide a framework for interpreting behavior. For instance, someone who constantly seeks attention may be driven by insecurity, while a person who withdraws in conversations might value introspection or feel overwhelmed. Knowledge of these tendencies allows you to approach interactions with greater compassion and insight. Nonverbal cues often align or conflict with verbal communication. When someone's words don't match their tone or body language, it can indicate dishonesty or internal conflict. A calm voice paired with nervous gestures might suggest hidden anxiety. Observing these discrepancies helps you uncover the underlying truth of a message, rather than taking everything at face value. Timing also plays a crucial role in understanding others. The speed of someone's responses or the timing of their actions can reveal their priorities and thought processes. A delayed response might indicate careful consideration or hesitation, while an immediate reaction could reflect confidence or impulsiveness. Understanding these nuances requires patience and attention to detail. Silence is an equally powerful tool for reading people. When you give someone the space to speak without interruption, they often reveal more than they intended. Silence creates a pause that encourages deeper reflection and honesty. The Stoic practice of remaining calm and composed in these moments allows you to observe without influencing the interaction, gaining unfiltered insights. The environment also influences behavior. People adapt their actions and expressions based on their surroundings and the roles they feel they must play. By considering how the setting shapes their behavior, you can distinguish between their authentic self and the persona they project. This awareness helps you approach them with greater understanding and adaptability. Understanding someone's values is key to interpreting their actions. Values drive decisions, shaping how people respond to challenges and opportunities. When you listen for clues about what someone prioritizes, whether it's family, career, or personal growth, you gain a clearer picture of their motivations. This understanding allows you to align your interactions with their values, fostering mutual respect and connection. When reading people, it's also important to recognize your own influence on the interaction. Your demeanor, tone, and energy affect how others respond to you. By presenting yourself as calm and open, you create a space where others feel safe to express themselves honestly. The Stoic principle of controlling what is within your power reminds you to focus on your own behavior as a key factor in understanding others. Trust is built through consistency, and observing how someone handles commitments or adversity provides valuable insight into their reliability. A person who consistently follows through on promises demonstrates integrity, while someone who frequently makes excuses may lack accountability. Recognizing these traits allows you to navigate relationships with greater discernment. Stress often reveals a person's true character. Under pressure, people are less likely to maintain a facade, and their authentic reactions come to the surface. By observing how someone handles difficult situations, you gain a deeper understanding of their resilience, values, and coping mechanisms. Stoics view adversity as a test of character, and observing how others respond to challenges helps you assess their authenticity. Cultural and personal differences shape how people communicate and express themselves. What is considered polite or assertive in one culture may be seen differently in another. By remaining curious and open-minded, you avoid misinterpreting behavior through the lens of your own experiences. This cultural awareness enriches your ability to read people accurately and fosters stronger connections. Reading people is also about understanding what is left unsaid. Subtle cues, such as a change in tone or a fleeting expression, often carry more weight than spoken words. The Stoic practice of mindfulness sharpens your awareness of these details, allowing you to perceive the nuances that others might overlook. This attentiveness reveals layers of meaning beneath the surface of interactions. One of the most powerful tools for reading people is observing how they treat others. Kindness, respect, and fairness toward those who offer no advantage reveal a person's true character. Conversely, rudeness or dismissiveness toward others can signal arrogance or insecurity. Watching these interactions provides a clearer picture of someone's values and integrity. Developing the skill to read people without them realizing it requires practice, patience, and humility. It is not about manipulation or control, but about understanding and connection. The Stoic approach emphasizes observation with detachment, empathy with discernment, and curiosity with wisdom. By honing this skill, you navigate relationships and interactions with greater clarity, fostering authentic connections and protecting your peace. Understanding how to read people provides a foundation for meaningful relationships and personal clarity, but it also reveals the tactics some individuals may use to exploit or manipulate you. Manipulation is subtle, often wrapped in charm or disguised as helpfulness, making it difficult to detect until it has already influenced your decisions or emotions. To navigate life with wisdom and confidence, you must identify these strategies and develop defenses rooted in Stoic principles. Manipulation often begins with the exploitation of emotions. Flattery, guilt, and fear are tools frequently used to bend your will. A manipulator might overwhelm you with praise to gain your trust, then subtly direct your actions to suit their goals. Stoicism teaches the importance of detachment from both excessive praise and undue criticism. By grounding yourself in your intrinsic worth, you become less susceptible to emotional sway. It's not about dismissing compliments, but understanding when they serve a deeper, less genuine purpose. Guilt is another powerful tool for manipulation. People may use your sense of responsibility or kindness to coerce you into actions that benefit them at your expense. A request framed as, "If you don't help me, I'll be in real trouble," might play on your empathy, leaving you little room to refuse. Stoic philosophy emphasizes personal boundaries and the importance of discernment. Helping others should align with your values, not result from emotional coercion. Learning to say no without guilt is a skill that preserves your autonomy. Fear-based tactics often push people into making decisions against their better judgment. Manipulators may exaggerate risks or create a sense of urgency to prevent you from thinking critically. For example, "If you don't act now, you'll lose everything," is a common ploy in high-pressure sales. The Stoic approach encourages pausing and evaluating such claims. By stepping back and analyzing the situation, you regain control over your decision-making, separating legitimate concerns from fabricated threats. Another manipulative strategy is the use of silence or withdrawal to create discomfort. This tactic, often referred to as the silent treatment, is designed to make you feel anxious or uncertain, pushing you to seek resolution by conceding to the manipulator's demands. Stoicism equips you with the strength to withstand such tactics by cultivating emotional independence. When you detach from the need for external validation or approval, the manipulative power of silence loses its grip on you. Exaggeration and distortion are common in manipulative narratives. People may twist facts or overstate their contributions to a situation to make you feel indebted or inferior. A colleague might claim, "I handled everything while you did nothing," to guilt you into extra work. Recognizing this tactic involves separating fact from fiction and relying on evidence rather than emotion. The Stoic practice of rational inquiry helps you remain composed and focused on the truth. Manipulators also exploit reciprocity, the natural human tendency to return favors. They may do something small for you, then expect disproportionate repayment. For instance, "I lent you that pen last week. Can you cover my shift tomorrow?" Stoicism teaches the value of deliberate action over obligation. Gratitude and generosity are important, but should come from genuine intention, not coerced repayment. Learning to assess requests on their merit rather than as a perceived debt protects your time and energy. Playing the victim is another subtle manipulation strategy. A person may present themselves as helpless or unfairly treated to elicit sympathy and resources from others. For example, a manipulator might constantly highlight their hardships, steering attention and support toward themselves while disregarding others' needs. Stoicism encourages compassion but also advocates for clear boundaries. Supporting someone should empower them, not perpetuate dependency or drain your own resources. Gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation, aims to make you doubt your perceptions or memory. Manipulators may deny events, twist conversations, or accuse you of overreacting, leading you to question your reality. For instance, "I never said that," "You're imagining things," is a hallmark phrase. The Stoic practice of self-reflection and journaling can help ground you in your truth, providing a record of events to counter false narratives. Building confidence in your perceptions and seeking external validation from trusted sources are crucial defenses against gaslighting. Manipulative individuals often employ triangulation, involving a third party to exert pressure or create conflict. They may say, "Everyone thinks you're being unreasonable," to isolate you or amplify their influence. This strategy undermines your confidence by suggesting widespread disapproval. Stoicism teaches you to focus on your own judgment and principles rather than external opinions. By staying true to your values, you resist the need for approval from others, even in the face of group pressure. Creating dependency is a long-term manipulation tactic where someone ensures you rely on them for emotional, financial, or practical support. Over time, they may subtly use this dependency to control your choices. For instance, "You can't do this without me" becomes a recurring theme. Stoicism advocates self-reliance and the development of inner strength. By cultivating skills, seeking knowledge, and maintaining diverse relationships, you reduce vulnerability to such tactics. Recognizing manipulation requires self-awareness and vigilance. It's essential to reflect on how interactions make you feel. Do you feel uplifted or drained after engaging with someone? Does their presence bring clarity or confusion? Stoic philosophy emphasizes introspection as a tool for understanding yourself and others. Regularly evaluating your relationships ensures that you identify unhealthy dynamics before they take root. Defending yourself against manipulation also involves clear and assertive communication. When you notice manipulative behavior, addressing it calmly and directly can neutralize its power. Phrases like, "I feel uncomfortable when you say that," or "I need time to think before I respond," establish boundaries without escalating conflict. Stoic composure enables you to remain steady during such conversations, focusing on solutions rather than emotional reactions. It's equally important to cultivate relationships with individuals who embody honesty, respect, and integrity. By surrounding yourself with people who value your well-being, you reduce exposure to manipulative tactics. Stoics emphasize the importance of choosing your company wisely, as the quality of your relationships significantly impacts your emotional and mental state. Manipulation thrives on confusion and impulsivity. By fostering clarity and patience, you deny manipulators the chaos they seek to exploit. The Stoic principle of deliberation teaches you to pause before acting, ensuring that your decisions are intentional and aligned with your values. This approach minimizes the influence of external pressure and strengthens your autonomy. Ultimately, Stoicism empowers you to navigate manipulation with wisdom and grace. It equips you with the tools to recognize deceptive strategies, maintain your integrity, and protect your peace. Defending yourself is not about aggression or retaliation, but about standing firm in your principles and acting with intention. In doing so, you transform potential vulnerabilities into sources of strength, ensuring that your actions reflect your highest values and aspirations. Silence is not just the absence of words, it is the presence of wisdom, strength, and clarity. Throughout this journey, you've uncovered the transformative power of stepping back and embracing quiet resilience. Whether it's disarming manipulation, mastering your emotions, leading with quiet authority, or sharpening your ability to read others, the principles of Stoicism illuminate a path toward a life of integrity and inner peace. Silence, when wielded strategically, becomes your greatest ally, an unspoken force that commands respect, reveals truths, and shapes your destiny. Now, the power lies in your hands. Take a moment to reflect. How will you incorporate these lessons into your own life? How will you use silence to strengthen your relationships, protect your boundaries, and cultivate lasting greatness? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your favorite takeaway or the lesson that resonated most with you in the comments below. Your perspective could inspire someone else on their journey to Stoic mastery. And if you found this deep dive valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated on more insights that empower and transform. Together, let's continue building a community where wisdom thrives.